everyone, and welcome to the Altered Perspective, number 38. And today I am joined by the guys from the Not for Human Consumption podcast. And, do you guys call yourself a podcast or show? Or
it's a podcast.
It's a podcast.
Yeah.
Now,
definitely a podcast.
Yeah. So, are you the guys I voted for, or the guys I didn't vote for?
No, we're the guys you voted for, and also said that we're kind of like ripping you off a little bit.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, with all the drinking and all that.
Yeah, that's true. You know what? Right now, I'm actually not drinking as much because I got kind of fat and I'm trying to lose weight, and like obviously alcohol was the reason I was fat, so I've cut back on that. Drinking.
If you buy one of our hoodies, it's slim. It's like naturally slimming. And
Is
you can
it?
Just keep drinking. Yeah.
Wow.
That one's 800 pounds.
Yeah, I'm gonna wear the hoodie. I look great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to get me one of those then. So do they have like vertical stripes on them or something? Because I heard vertical stripes are slimming.
It's like a flat black. I think that's what does it.
I
It
see.
hides all the contours. Yeah.
And by the way, guys, I don't know what's up with Pimpmunk right now. I don't know why he's not here. But I'm sure he's okay. I'm sure I would have heard something if if something bad had happened to him or something like that. So I guess I'll update you guys another time where he is, because I know you guys are wondering where he's at. We'll get into the show shortly. If you guys wanted to just explain your show, just to kind of plug it so that the people here that aren't familiar with it get a little more awareness of it. Yeah, feel free.
It's a weekly podcast. It involves a lot of drinking, and it's me and Dylan here, and also Matt and Dave. It's the four of us. We get together once a week. We drink. We watch weird videos on the internet. Do a lot of commentary on those.
Talk a lot of shit.
And talk a lot of shit to each other. Like, it's pretty ruthless, and it's a lot of fun.
It sounds
People
really
don't
familiar.
think we're friends.
Yeah, you know what? Okay, so on Drunken Peasants, my co-host is Billy the Fridge, and people always think I hate him, but it's just like we banter back and forth, and people always think we've got some kind of personal problem with one another, but in reality, it's just like it would be boring to just sit and listen to us get along for over 2 hours.
Yeah, the Get Along Gang. How fun.
I agree with everything that you're saying right now.
That was poignant and
episode over.
articulate. Yeah, absolutely. People don't get that though, but then they would say it was boring. If we just got along the whole time. So
Yeah, I think people kind of want to get that controversy, like some kind of, not even drama, just like a little bit of heat. Otherwise, it's just not fun. You need it.
Yeah, you do. You need that. You need friendly banter, I think. And then when you have like an antagonist of some sort come on your show, like someone who's there to kind of debate you or whatever, then you can kind of turn it up a little bit.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
That's the best part.
Oh yeah. We don't have that so much on this show usually, but definitely on DP we have like people that argue back and forth. Especially we covered the midterm election, and we had two groups of people that didn't agree at all, and it got pretty crazy. And then
it's probably a shitstorm.
It was like our comment section was just like, I hate these people, never have them on again. And then there was other people that are like, well, we hate the other people, never have them on again. So
just never have anybody on again.
Right.
Ever.
Yes. Just never have anyone on because, the people might disapprove. So, really quick, guys, I want to draw attention to my goal up at the top of the screen. If I meet that by the end of this 2-hour show, I'll extend the show for myself, and I'll keep streaming after the 2 hours. If the goal is met, I will extend. I'm just going to keep extending it. Even after these guys are done and they leave, I might just go all fucking night. If the goal just keeps...
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, I will, and I will too. Usually it devolves into me getting drunk and playing video games, but I won't be drunk this time, so I don't know. I guess we'll see how that goes.
Was it last week that somebody gave you like $50 to take your shirt off?
Yeah, and actually last night that happened too.
Nice.
Last night we had, and it's funny because they never see like anything below like my collarbone, you know, like in this frame here, but they do it.
Yeah, you get shoulders.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's like, you know, it's like some early 1900s pornography, I guess.
Yeah, showing some ankle.
Show, but guess who just became a $100 patron?
Oh,
You're
you did?
welcome, cunt face.
Thank you, Antonovich. See, we're halfway to our goal. I'm going to end up streaming all night. Sleep
Do it.
deprivation. It's a form of torture. Yeah, well, let's get into the first video here. Are you guys familiar with Pat Robertson?
Pat Robertson. No, I don't think so. Who is Pat Robertson?
He is a televangelist. He's probably like 90 years old. He even ran for president in the 90s when George H.W. Bush, you know, the older Bush, was first running for president. He ran
against him?
He ran against him for the Republican nomination. It was like George Bush had just been vice president under Reagan for 8 years, and he was looking for the nomination to be president, and a bunch of people ran against him, and Pat Robertson was one of them. Pat Robertson is batshit insane.
I believe it.
Yeah. Now, you can think what you want about the migrant caravan, but I think Pat Robertson's theory on it is kind of off. Here it is.
This caravan that's coming north has got about 7,000
Oh shit, you can't even see it. Damn it, I thought I had everything ready. Here it is. All right, see, there he is. He looks like
this guy.
Yeah, I know who he is.
I know who he is, yeah.
He looks like the oldest chimpanzee at the zoo.
He's coming out of Honduras and Guatemala and now through Mexico, and it's going to be a public relations nightmare for our president if he doesn't get ahead of the thing. And what I'm saying is, so they're going to arrive. What do we want to greet them with? We want to have a bunch of soldiers beating them up on little children and women and peasants?
What?
Is that?
I don't know what the hell he's talking about. The soldiers are not going to beat up children.
Yeah. There they are. Let's go over there and start swinging our rifles at them.
Yeah.
That's the kind of image we want to have in the world. It's going to be a nightmare unless we get ahead of it. My solution is very simple. The Army knows how to take care of troops. 7,000 people is no big deal. It's a third of a division. And all they've got to do is have field kitchens out there to feed them and put up a bunch of tents. And then, once they're in that situation where it seems humanitarian, then you begin to arrest them for breaking our laws.
So you create a campground for them and feed them, and then you arrest them all.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's
You
that's
make
a
them
good
feel
plan.
safe and then just shit all over them.
Yeah. I don't know. And where's this supposed to happen? You let them across the border and do it? I don't know.
And you take them selectively back to Honduras, back to El Salvador, back to Guatemala, wherever they came from. And it'll take a little bit of time and some judges. But the other thing that I think we ought to do, and I think it's very important, the person who apparently has been financing this thing is George Soros. Now, we don't have hard evidence on that, but that's...
I like it's always George Soros.
Yeah, he's like the boogeyman that people on the right always use to attribute anything bad that happens in the world. I mean, like, why would George... okay, if he's funding them, he's not giving them very much money because they're all walking here. I mean...
and what's he going to get out of it?
Nothing!
Even if he was funding it. There's nothing to gain.
It's going to make Trump look bad. That's what he's getting out of it.
Oh, yeah, that's neat.
Yeah.
He's doing a good job himself, so like, why does anybody need to give any more help on that one?
Exactly.
Nobody needs to do anything. Just stand back and watch.
If anything, this is like a distraction from all the other bullshit that's going on with him. So...
suspicion that the Soros Foundation has somehow been providing money because somebody's been paying those people off. They're left-wing agitators working in that group.
I like how he made the statement too. It's George Soros, and then
This
immediately
is an impressive
said,
collection of beard. I welcome you all.
Oh, Satan likes everyone's beard. We've got a good
Thank you.
trio
Yeah.
beard collection. I feel like inadequate because my beard is very like chin strappy, you know. But yeah,
At least you got one.
yeah, true. I can't grow a mustache though. I'm 37 years old and I can't grow a mustache, so I'm always going like Amish style all
We
the time.
bullied Alan into a mustache. He didn't have a mustache forever, and we made fun of him until he actually grew one. And look how magnificent!
Yeah,
it
he
is.
can grow a good
Yeah.
one.
This is my first mustache ever. This is it.
So like you did like the beard without a mustache before that?
Yeah. Yeah, it was everything but the mustache, just like it is now.
He got
then
a
they bullied
mustache.
me into it.
He got a mustache, then we got sponsored by a beard balm company. Good job,
Interesting.
Alan. It was all because of your mustache.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's the mustache magic.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, like Pat Robertson, he said it's George Soros and then immediately said, but we don't have any evidence for it. Okay, then why
No.
report it on your TV show?
Well, it's just because he also included just now like the buzzword of like it's the liberal left. It's like that's all it is. It's
Right.
any way to attack the left whatsoever, they just do it.
And Chuck Holton tomorrow is going to be down there with them to try to find out precisely who the agitators are. But my suggestion would be that the Justice Department needs to get a warrant to search the books of the Soros Foundation to see if they indeed have been setting this thing up and do it. The whole idea was to use these people to embarrass the president. And just before the election, you've got this awful PR nightmare of troops beating up on poor peasants from down in Central America. It's going to be awful. And
Right. I mean,
Look at him. Oh my God. Nosferatu right there.
This dude, like, I'm pretty sure he was around long enough to know what it was like in the Wild West, and he still thinks it's that way.
Yeah.
Like, that's just what I'm picturing. Like, he thinks that everybody's riding around on horses and fucking stealing up children from camps.
Yeah.
I've been playing way too much Red Dead Redemption. Sorry.
Yeah, he's pretty out there too. I mean, like he has a history of making predictions that never come true. And then also he did this thing like throughout his history of being on TV and being in the public eye, anytime there's a natural disaster somewhere, he'll basically say it's the wrath of God punishing us for whatever, like, because we,
Oh, of course it is.
you know, for the gays or whatever it is. But then this past hurricane season, there was a hurricane coming directly for like his church and everything. And he did a prayer, and when the hurricane missed him and hit another area, then he was like, God helped me. So it's God. Yeah. So it's not God when a hurricane's coming to him, but when a hurricane goes anywhere else, it's God doing that. So
Well, it's an easy explanation. I mean, he's just talking out of his ass here. So what? Why not just talk out of your ass about natural disasters?
look at those legs. Like, look how fucking like bony and weird his legs are. Like, I don't know.
He has no neck.
They
Yeah.
set him in that chair. They just move him around. He's just like a skeleton of a man.
It's
The
true.
back of his head is just resting on his shoulders.
He's got like a prehistoric type skull too. Like the back of his head, it just goes out like really far. I don't know. He's scary. He's
Yeah,
not.
look at the size of that forehead. He's like an alien.
I can't imagine the PR nightmare. This
oh, it's going to be horrible. And the president said, well, it's all the Democrats. Well, that's not going to wash. What they need to do is to be very compassionate. We've got nice tents. We're feeding these people. We've got
Well, you're giving away the whole plan now.
Army soup kitchens out there. The Army,
know.
it's 1/3 of a division, for heaven's sakes. I mean, it's nothing. But he needs to put a whole division down there of soldiers, not National Guard, United States troops, put them on the border, and then tell them to exercise restraint little by little and lead these people into what looks like a humanitarian setting until such time as they can be processed one by one. They can't come into this country. We can't allow that stuff to happen. If this group makes it, then
So, so what he's proposing kind of sounds like a concentration camp.
Yeah, let's just trick him.
Yeah.
Also sounds super expensive.
Right.
Just put a trail of candy down over to this box, and then when they get in the box, you hit the thing out of the way, and the box falls on them.
Oh.
That's all it is. He watches Family Guy.
There'll be one more, and one more, and one more, and there'll be assaults on our border. But this is a planned deal just prior to the election to turn the Hispanic population in America against the president.
What? They're not already against him?
Yeah, that it doesn't need any more help. It's already been done.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
The guy's out of his mind.
pretty much. I mean, when Trump was campaigning, any area he went with a high Hispanic population, there were like crazy protests everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I'm in Arizona, man.
Yeah, man. It's crazy here.
yeah, I used to live in Albuquerque, and I wasn't living there when this happened, but I remember seeing like the protests in downtown Albuquerque and shit. Yeah, they don't take kindly to. I mean, like they definitely don't like that. They don't like the narrative that they might be rapists or whatever. So
Yeah.
It's weird that they like being treated like people. I don't know. It's strange.
yeah, who wants
What's
to be
up with
treated
that?
like people? What?
And to say he lacks compassion. Mark my word, it's got to be done. They've got to get ahead of it right now.
That motherfucker's gonna live forever.
Yeah. Let me see how
damn
old
it.
he is. Pat Robertson.
He's like one of those evil people that just can't die.
It's true. Pat Robertson. Oh, he's 88.
How much money is he worth, though?
Ooh, let's see. I mean, that the numbers are skewed because religious organizations are considered.
They hide all that.
Well, they're tax exempt, and he can take money and claim it was for something religious and just pocket it tax free.
So here it is.
Insane.
He's also
Pat Robertson's net worth, $100 million.
Yep.
God damn it.
He's also the CEO of Regent University, so it's some kind of Christian university. Yeah.
Pitt.
And then he has his show, The 700 Club.
Oh, that's
Which has been on forever.
Yep.
That's where he's from. All right.
Yeah.
I knew the face was familiar, but I couldn't remember like what I'd seen it on. That's the late night Saturday flipping through channels, and that's on. You're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. Yeah, that's when they get him out of his coffin. There's not enough sunlight to hurt him then. So I don't think I've never seen him outside.
He turns into a bat and just
yeah. I want to drink your blood. Let's see what else we have. Here we have what's a good one? I have a whole bunch of videos here. I'm just trying to find the best one to play next.
I really like this rightwingwatch.org, their slogan, a project of people for the American way.
Yeah, I use some of their videos. It's like some of them I don't always agree with, but a lot of them, especially when they deal with like religious fanatics, it's usually right up my alley.
I think you're gonna find the most extreme videos there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The super crazies.
Yeah, the weird thing is like some people I actually kind of know through doing this on the internet have been featured on Right Wing Watch because they are kind of right wing. I'm on good terms with them. It was just weird to like be looking through Right Wing Watch one day and like see people I recognize being featured on their channel.
I know him.
Yeah.
Our podcast is in the alt center.
Yeah. Like
we're alternative centrists.
It's so hard to be a centrist because if you take a left position, the right will say you're a liberal cuck. If you take the right position, the left will say you're a right-wing, alt-right fascist.
Racist.
Yeah. So there's no winning if you're moderate on any issue. It sucks because that's what I deal with all the time.
Mm-hmm. It makes me not want to vote. It's just because of how, like, you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Like, am I going to be a cuck or am I going to be a racist?
Yeah. The one thing I got a lot of shit.
No other options.
Yeah, I got a lot of shit from people on the left because when the whole Kavanaugh thing was going on, I was like, hey, you know, I don't agree with Kavanaugh's positions, and he may very well had done something in the past, but the problem is there's no evidence at this point. It happened 30 years ago. He was a minor, she was a minor. We can't set the precedent that anytime someone's about to take some kind of office for the government that's important, someone can just come out from 30 years ago and be like, this guy raped me, so he doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, we can't have that.
because it's going to become weaponized and people on both sides are going to start using it.
Yeah, it'll set a precedent for it, and it'll just happen every single time somebody gets in office or does anything. So that whole thing was a circus. I hated it. Like I followed it for a day or two, and I was like, okay, this is out of control. I can't. I got to get away from it.
Yeah, here's Mark Levin. He's a right-wing radio personality, and in this clip, he talks about how Supreme Court justice nominees are treated worse than terrorists.
If you are in this country and you're a known terrorist and you're captured, you have due process rights. You can't just allege things. You got to go through the system. If you're a mass murderer, you get due process rights. Look at this subhuman who killed this girl, Molly.
Okay. So he's making a really strange comparison here. Like if someone is a murderer, you know, they're going to be criminally convicted. Kavanaugh wasn't on trial to be convicted for anything. Yeah. They were. It was more of a question of his personal character, is what they were looking into.
Yeah, they just were making sure his character fit the profile of what the Supreme Court needs, and not he was a bad guy like 30 years ago and put him on trial for it. It had nothing to do with that. So comparing this to like some girl or whatever that got murdered is. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yes.
But let's see where he goes with it.
Yeah.
Gone through the whole system and so forth, you know. If you are a constitutionalist who is nominated to the Supreme Court, you are treated worse than a terrorist and a mass murderer. Our entire system, we just discussed.
I don't think so.
Criminal, civil.
I don't either.
The death penalty was never up for consideration with Kavanaugh. Yeah, so I think terrorists and mass murderers still treated worse based on the fact that they will probably get the death penalty, or at least life in prison. Yeah.
I have a question. What do you think? Do you think that somebody wrote this speech for him and he's reading it for the first time and he's just like, oh, fuck, man,
no.
I gotta say this? Or do you think these are his words?
Oh, these are his
words.
Yeah, this guy has been peddling this kind of shit on the AM radio waves for at least a decade now.
Oh, really? I've never seen him.
Yeah, he's kind of like...
I used to listen to this guy on my lunch break or driving home from work just because it's just so crazy.
Yeah, he's kind of like a Rush Limbaugh kind of guy, you know.
He's like a low-level Alex Jones.
He's more establishment than Alex Jones. He's more old school neocon establishment. So I would say he's more like a Sean Hannity or a Rush Limbaugh.
Okay.
Yeah,
exactly.
And in every major city in the United States, there's at least one radio station that plays all conservative talk radio. Not usually Alex Jones, not that, because that's more radical. This is more old school establishment, Republican Party, conservative, George W. Bush era type stuff.
Exactly like that.
Yep.
The entire system is built around...
Dylan has an Alex Jones channel when he's in Vegas. I didn't even know that it's a real thing.
Yeah, InfoWars definitely comes on when I'm staying out there.
It's a channel.
On some random channel
on the internet.
has InfoWars.
No, yeah, he is syndicated on a bunch of radio stations across the country. I've done a few cross-country drives in my lifetime, and I've been like in the middle of nowhere and picked up Alex Jones on the radio a few times. And actually, kind of a funny story as an aside to that was recently he had Ricky Berwick on his show. You know who Ricky Berwick is?
Yeah,
we played this clip last week.
Oh, okay. So when he was on there, yeah, he said a couple swear words, and they had to kind of like use the delay to like dump that because they can't say that on the radio. So, yeah.
I didn't even think that was real when I saw it.
Yeah, it's pretty hilarious.
It was good.
Challenging the allegers.
Wow, fancy.
Challenging the allegations. Examination, cross-examination, objective juries, objective judges.
I wonder where he is.
You get to confront your accuser.
Trump Hotel.
I'm not into identity politics or anything, but I can't help but notice that there's nothing but white people sitting here. I mean,
old white people.
Let's look close. Yeah, not anything else in that crowd. Not one.
It's a 55 plus crowd.
Yep.
Yeah, and they're all older.
Yep.
The accuser must prove the case. They have legal standards that you have to meet, except if you're nominated to serve on the Supreme Court and you want to uphold the Constitution.
Nobody would want to be on the Supreme Court if it was as bad as you say it is.
Yeah, people fight for that.
Right. I mean, it's a great job. It's a lifetime position. I'm sure they get paid well.
Powerful position too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's so terrible for these poor justices, man.
Look at that guy.
Somebody please think of the justices.
That guy right there's never worked a day in his life.
I mean, nobody cared. Okay, this guy wasn't saying this shit when Obama nominated his. What was it, Sotomayor?
Yeah, of course not.
Yeah, it's so weird. There's always just this, revisionist history and selective memory that goes into all this stuff.
The Senate Judiciary Committee is a disgrace. Absolute disgrace.
Okay. Oh, good. Yeah, ended on that one.
It's a disgrace.
I agree. It is a disgrace.
Sure.
Just get rid of it. Fuck it.
I mean, they got to do something to I mean, I like it how the president can nominate somebody and then, the Judiciary Committee, they decide whether or not they get the appointment. I think it works okay that way. But yeah, they're always going to do this kind of shit where they make it extremely hard for a justice from the other side to get in. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's all who's going to play for my team, and they throw them in there, and they make it to where they'll more likely pass laws that benefit the party and their values. It's such a joke. It gets old, man. Like just playing like party lines constantly and hearing about it. It's like, okay, I get it. Stop.
Dude, it used to be like politics when elections were coming up, and now it's just all year long. People are nonstop about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at Trump. I mean, he was still going out and doing campaign rallies like a week into taking office.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. Like I know a lot of like people got heated when Obama was elected, but like since Trump has been elected, it has been nonstop. Trump. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Never seen anything like it.
Yeah. I mean, for one thing, they're really gunning for him. I mean, with the Mueller investigation and that kind of shit. I mean, you're never going to stop hearing about him, good and bad, at this point, because the people that like him really, really like him, and the people that don't like him want him gone as soon as possible.
Really hate him.
Yeah. So there's a guy we watch a lot. His name's Wild Bill for America. And he made a new video recently. This video is called Liberal Hitlerism.
Oh man!
I think
go.
He created a new word, Hitlerism. I don't believe that was a word before this.
I'm excited.
No, I've never heard of it. Let's see what happens with this.
Wow,
a proven combination of evil and ignorance, and their incessant accusing of conservatives being Nazis is proof. Jane Fonda spit out the standard ignorant liberal crap this week by saying that the Trump administration has parallels to Hitler and the Third Reich.
I was too young to remember Reagan, but almost every president in my lifetime has been compared to Hitler by
Yeah,
the
every
people that
single
don't
one
like
of them.
Yeah, because who's worse? Even though Stalin killed way more people, we still do the Hitler thing. You know?
Yeah, Hitler was the worst, but Stalin was, oh, dude, he was like 10 times whatever Hitler did.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like whatever score Hitler set, Stalin broke that high score.
Oh, yeah.
This guy looks like
But
Jimmy Buffett meets Ted Nugent.
I mean, he is kind of like that. And he always, well, not always, but a lot of times he's like in front of a beach or, you know, some kind of body of water. I think he lives in Florida or something. But yeah, he's always wearing the Hawaiian shirts and the like straw cowboy hat.
Let's not let this typical pile of liberal BS fall without being challenged. Now, what is it that Hitler is most known for? The World War II concentration camps where he tried to exterminate the Jewish race in gas chambers and ovens. 6 million Jews died there. Along with the Jews, he murdered Christians as well.
And you know that there are people on the alt-right who do support Trump that deny that that even happened, right? I mean, it's
the
true.
Holocaust lately is like a real touchy subject, man. Like,
It should be, but not for those reasons.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like, I remember, you know, 15 years ago, it was only like, it was mostly just crazy people in the Middle East that denied that the Holocaust happened. But now there's like more and more domestic people that just deny that it happened at all.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
There's still people alive, isn't there? That experienced it. Like they can literally talk to people that were there.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in an area where there were a lot of Polish immigrants, you know, around the time of World War II, and I knew old Polish ladies that had like the concentration camp tattoos on them.
That's wild.
I doubt they did that just to themselves, just to like push an agenda. And
yeah, they're paid off.
Yeah, and the people I knew, like that I had met, they weren't even Jewish. They were like Polish Catholics. So it wasn't just Jews that were going into camps around that time.
Oh, is anybody that didn't fit the what is it, the Aryan like master race?
Yeah, and anyone who wouldn't cooperate. And you know, in places like Poland, when it was invaded, they put the women to work. Like, they may not have sent them to a death camp, but they still sent them to a work camp. So
yeah, a labor camp where if you didn't work at the level that they expected, then they would kill you. So
yeah,
in essence, it was a labor camp. But I mean, every president in our lifetime has done all of this stuff too. I mean, that's why we compare him to Hitler, right? They like all the concentration camps we have in the country, you know, just.
Yeah, I mean, we did have a concentration camp. Like, we had like Asian internment camps.
Yeah, for the Japanese.
Yeah, yeah. Anyone who looked Japanese went to them. Yeah.
Who has
wild.
death camps in America today? The Democrats and their Planned Parenthood killing centers have brutally exterminated 60
Dude, I didn't even see that coming.
Oh man, yeah, he'll find a way.
Children. 60 million, that is 10 times more than Hitler's camps. Hitler tried to win support for his extermination program by vilifying Jews and making outrageous accusations against them. Today's Democrats are doing the same thing, making outrageous accusations against white people and Christians and Supreme Court nominees, and calling for action against them. Hitler was notorious for sending his brown shirts with clubs to violently bust up opposing political rallies. Guess what? It's not the Trump administration sending out thugs. It's the Democrats with their Antifa using the exact same tactics as Hitler's brown shirts. Hitler's machine...
I mean, they're on both sides. There's Antifa and there's like white nationalists battling each other. You know, yeah,
This
but
guy's impressive.
Yeah, he is.
That he managed to swing it that far around. Like, I felt like I got hit in the face with that one. That was fucking crazy.
He probably has a room at his house that has like pictures and yarn going from one picture to the other with like somebody circled, and they just constantly stretching it out. And like, there it is. That's the angle I'll go with.
Yep.
Nuts.
Sick arthritis, Wild Bill.
Crack down on free speech, harassing and intimidating anyone who did not parrot the Nazi Party line. Guess who's doing that in the USA? The Democrats and their entire liberal media are ruthlessly blocking and harassing internet speech of Christians and conservatives who dare to speak out against liberal agendas. Nazi propaganda movement is like a mirror of today's Democrat Party. Every day, a tidal wave of lies and deceptions pour forth from liberals and the liberal media all across America. Fonda's anti-Trump statement is a perfect example. Yesterday,
Jane Fonda is, I mean, like, she's liberal, but she's not a politician. She has, I mean, she has a little bit of influence, but, like, to say that Jane Fonda is this big part of left-wing politics, she's not.
Yeah.
She's a celebrity.
Nobody cares about Jane Fonda.
Right. Nobody
cares.
Flaming liberal TV guy said the greatest terrorist threat in America is white males. And then there's the socialism thing. The entire liberal left-wing Democrat movement is screaming for socialism in the USA. Bernie Sanders, the socialist, is like a god among liberals. Well, guess what? The Nazi Party was the National Socialist Party. The Nazis pushed socialism.
Yeah, there were all sorts of parties that pushed socialism and communism, but there were different kinds. National socialism was a different thing.
Yeah, it's not the socialism that Bernie Sanders was pushing. It's totally different.
Right. It wasn't even
the words sound the same, so it must be the same.
It wasn't even the same kind of socialism they had in Soviet Russia. You know, it was different.
Yeah.
Now, that should be a wake-up call for America. The Nazi Party is coming back to life in the USA, and today it's called the Democrat Party. Now, from this day forward, never let a liberal call a conservative a Nazi without hitting them right between the eyes with these facts. This is Wild Bill for America. Thank you for watching, and America bless God again.
The Democratic Party had a black president.
Right, and like...
I don't think they're the Nazi Party.
And I mean, even aside from that, where do we see them advocating socialism? Like, really? Like, where do we see this? I mean, most of the Democratic establishment, is in the pockets of corporations. And look at Hillary and Bill.
Oh, yeah, they're getting paid.
Right. They're not advocating for this strict socialism.
As far as like the Democrat Party goes, that's not like their main agenda at all.
No.
At least the way I see it.
Not socialism, no. Not at all.
No, not at all.
Let's see
well, whatever, Bill.
Yeah. America bless God once again. Here's Trump getting mad at reporters.
CNN's Jim Acosta, whose White House credentials have been suspended, we'll get to that in a few moments, isn't the only journalist to draw harsh words from President Trump. At the same news conference, he hit back at Yamiche Alcindor of PBS NewsHour.
You called yourself a nationalist. Some people saw that as emboldening white nationalists. Now people are also saying that the president.
It's such a racist
There are
question.
some people.
What you said is so insulting to me. It's a very terrible thing that you said.
And speaking with reporters Friday, the president unloaded on CNN White House correspondent Abby Phillip.
Do you want him to rein in Robert Mueller?
Trump does this a lot where he's getting interviewed in front of like an airplane that's running, and you can't even hear what the hell's going on. I see this all the time.
What a stupid question that is. What a stupid question.
Awesome.
But I watch you a lot. You ask a lot of stupid questions.
I've never seen a president like go off on the media so much ever.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I'm pretty sure Trump is like the biggest of trolls ever.
He is. I also think he has a thin skin. I mean, I think most presidents, if they heard a question that they found insulting in the past, they probably would have just ignored it and just kept walking or whatever. So.
Well, that whole thing with like him having small hands, how personal he took that. It's like, dude, you don't have small hands. Stop it.
Yeah.
Calm down.
And after repeatedly telling radio reporter and CNN contributor April Ryan to sit down when she tried to interrupt at the presser, Trump brought her up on Friday as well.
The same thing with April Ryan. I watch her get up. I mean, you talk about somebody that's a loser. She doesn't know what the hell she's doing. She gets publicity, and then she gets a pay raise, or she gets a contract with, I think, CNN. But she's very nasty.
She's a loser.
Yeah, she's
So
very
good.
nasty.
Well, the
Horse
president
face.
regularly rips the media, but these highly personal insults against those asking questions, stupid, nasty, racist, seem to go to a new level.
Yeah, he seemed to be in rare form this week, even for someone who regularly criticizes the press. And we have just a massive problem here. We have a president who's getting more personal in his insults against reporters.
It's true. See, this is why. Like, yeah, he may be a good troll, especially with his tweets and stuff like that. But he does not like criticism. He doesn't like tough questions. And this says a lot when on Fox News, they're even like, man, he's going kind of far now.
Yeah, for sure. Fox News is even kind of going, all right, we need to draw a line here, and you need to calm your ass down. But also, at the same point, I think the media is also like trying to get a rise out of him now. So it's like, there's really no winning here. He's just going to keep going off, and the media is going to keep fucking with him. So
yeah, it's no secret that there's a huge portion of the media that doesn't want him to be president, and they want to make him look dumb. But he gives it to them. He takes their bait. So
yeah.
The press corps that is responding by decreasing their journalistic standards. I mean, I don't think this week was a good week for journalism, and it wasn't a good week for presidential rhetoric either, and the American public loses out. We're not getting good questions. We're not getting questions that have fair assumptions. We're not getting a press corps that even respects the office. We know they hate the president, but do they respect the office at all? And then you have him behaving this way. It's just very frustrating.
Well, I wouldn't say that all journalists hate the president, and I think some of the questions that the news conference, which went on for 90 minutes about, were good. But, Susan, I always say the president has every right to push back against what he sees as unfair coverage. But when he told Abby Phillips, a former Washington Post reporter, she'd asked a stupid question, it wasn't. It was a question about Whitaker's impact on the Mueller investigation, which was the news of the day. And then he made clear that he just didn't like her.
Well, I've had...
Yeah. See, he does not want to talk about that, because that's the real threat to his legacy and his presidency, is that investigation.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So when that's brought up, he fires back like it was an insult to be asked about it.
Yeah, you're stupid.
People tell me I ask dumb questions, and they say it to me in front of groups of reporters and chew me out based on the publication I work for. And I've seen it happen to other reporters on Capitol Hill. So
Doesn't make it right.
No, but it happens. And I think what he was saying is he's fed up with people questioning him about what his effort is to control the Mueller investigation, which he doesn't think is legitimate in the first place. You know, you saw the frustration the president had. I think what he's expressing is frustration that the questions seem to be questioning his integrity. And I think that was what you saw at the press conference with the first question about white nationalism and then about Mueller. I think there was a sort of I'm fed up quality to the way the president was responding to the press this week, which is the most adversarial press for any president that we have seen in our time. And that's the dynamic here.
Before I get to you, Adrian, let me play a response from Yamiche Alcindor. She was a former New York Times reporter who now works for PBS NewsHour, as I mentioned. Here's what she had to say after that tough exchange with the president.
What I was doing was posing a question, which is what reporters are going to do. And again, I go back to the fact that there was a white nationalist today tweeting about being at the White House today. So my question was timely, and it was fair, and it was what I do.
Now, plenty of critics, especially on CNN, but also elsewhere, have pointed out
There's
that
a white nationalist at the White House?
I'm not sure who she was talking about. I hope they'll elaborate.
3 women in 3 days, Yamiche Alcindor, April Ryan, Abby Phillip, are African-American women. Mm-hmm. And now, obviously, the president has slammed plenty of white males and others, but this was noticeable because it happened in such a compressed period of time.
Yeah, I mean, it's not lost on anyone the fact that these are 3 women, 3 African-American women, and they are all 3 very, very good reporters.
So she's the one on the panel that's going to be the other 2 were kind of more pro-Trump, and this woman, former Clinton campaign director. So she's going to be more anti-Trump. Yeah.
all three
I
of
was
them.
going to say,
throughout
I
my
wonder what her stance is.
business, and I cannot say enough great things about them. So it's hard to look at what the president did in his conduct this week and decipher anything differently except for the fact that he is attacking these women because they are black and perhaps because they are women.
Goodness, that is absolutely. I mean, that's the most famous altercation he had was with Jim Acosta, who's a white male, followed up by the next.
Why is he going after three women?
The idea that I mean, it's ludicrous. But I want to also say something about Yamiche Alcindor's claim right there. She was saying that there was a white nationalist tweeting from the White House. Well, I think that's.
See, this is, and I don't know if this was by design because it's on Fox or whatever. I mean, ultimately, the woman on the right's getting paid by Fox. This is the narrative that makes people on the left look bad because she's just doing this. Oh, well, this is racist. He's attacking them because they're black. She should be focusing on the overall behavior that's going on, not just the race of the people he's being a dick to. That's how I
the
feel.
race of the sex. It's like, oh, it's all three black women, and he was being a dick to them. Well, there's more going on here than just that.
Yes.
True, but it was a public tour he was at, meaning someone
was asking a very legitimate question.
And then to say, actually, I don't think so. I mean,
it was
we have
timely.
three problems with the question. One, she doesn't understand what national interest is, or her question reflects a misunderstanding of national interest. There's the bias against national interest, and then there's the desire to paint everything Donald Trump does as racist. These are problems in the assumptions of questions, and they don't serve the public, because it is a really interesting thing that we have someone who cares so much about national interest. That's a very newsworthy thing.
But I at least give her
wrong.
credit for asking the question respectfully, and she didn't say, I believe that you're a white nationalist. She said there had been criticism, as there has, but you said something that I can't let go, and that is, look, I understand why critics of the president will say, wow, he seems to get very personal when it comes to certain black people he doesn't like. Amorosi called a dog. I get all that. You said he criticized them because they are black.
Well, okay,
you don't know that.
Well, I don't know that, but then why is he going after three women who are both African American this week? Why is he constantly attacked African American women? It is a bias that he has had, that he has shown throughout his presidency. We saw it during the campaign as well.
Questions are asking, like April Ryan, for example, who's really set herself up as someone who challenges the president constantly, and then she does
racially charged issues.
And she does, and then she does go on TV and talk about it as a paid policy pundit. So he's making a legitimate point here that
but Abby Phillip asked about them.
Yeah, he made a legitimate point about how dumb she is.
Yeah, she's a stupid loser.
Yep.
Mueller investigation.
And by the way, a lot of Abby Phillip said, "Are you trying to do something illegitimate with the Mueller investigation?" That was the nature of the question she asked here, and I think that's the frustration.
Right, it's the assumption going into this. We have people who say we're literally going to let the Mueller probe go until we find something, despite the fact that we have covered this for 2.5 years and have nothing. I mean, at some point, reporters' questions should reflect
because Robert Mueller has the freedom to take as long as he needs to take to get to the end of this investigation.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step on you. You're criticizing the substance of the questions, which is fine, but loser, stupid.
That's my complaint.
I mean, there is that side of it.
Particularly when he has the upper ground by challenging the content of the questions.
By the way, Trump also said at the presser that he'd like the tone of his relations with the media to improve, but he thinks the media should go first. I think that's now out the window, especially with the president saying he might.
So childish. It's like,
it is.
You do it first.
Well, he did it, so we're going to do it. And
Yeah.
it's all just out of control. It's getting crazy.
I've
never seen anything like this before, as far as like the presidency goes, and how just like dumbed down some of it can be with just you're stupid, you're a loser, all that stuff. Like I don't think any of us have ever heard that from
It's a
The
weird
Office.
time to be alive.
Yeah, it really is.
What's next is how can it go farther than this? Can we take this any farther?
Maybe.
We're going to find out. Stay tuned. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Yank other people's credentials, other journalists' credentials, and this and the Jim Acosta, which we'll get to. By the way, Democratic Congressman Adam Schiff said to HBO on Axios that he's planning an investigation of Trump abusing his power versus the media. He mentioned CNN and the Washington Post. This is what happens, or could happen, or will happen when you have a Democratic House. Thanks to all of you. Adrian Elrod, Susan Frischio, Molly Hemingway.
All right, what else do we have here? Robertson.
The nationalist stuff is kind of scary too, though.
It is weird how he's like
Nationalism is a real slippery slope.
Yeah, and he was like, I'm not afraid to say it, I'm a nationalist. He said it at one of his big rallies and got
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Did. Well, who was the white nationalist that was tweeting? Was that just like a dig at Trump, or was there some racist guy at the White House? I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Let me see if I can find
They never elaborated on it.
Yeah, I wish they would have. Let's see. What nationalist at White House? Let's see if it says anything. White nationalist leader just posted pictures from his. Let's see. Who does it say?
Bitch.
Thank you. Thanks for helping me meet my goal. So yeah, I'll be doing at least an extra hour of the stream tonight, Sir Joseph.
Awesome.
And I don't care. I don't mind if you call me a bitch now. Give me another 4146, and you can call me something else. What else do we have here? It's Patrick Casey, who heads the group Identity Europa. This apparently that's him, and I guess this is who they were asking about. Europa has landed at the White House.
He was just standing out front taking pictures, like selfies and stuff. Okay.
Let me see. I don't know. He was more than one of 5,000 people who came to the White House Fall Garden Tour, which is open to the public.
It's not like he was invited to the White House by the president.
Yes.
It was just like
it was a
public
fucking
tour.
A field trip.
Yeah, good for him. But any way to dig at Trump, like, oh, you let a white nationalist into the White House. No, the tour did. He has nothing to do with that.
Yeah, I mean, if there was a picture of them like shaking hands in the Oval Office, I'd say maybe she had a point, but I don't see that.
If that guy was being super loud on Twitter or something, though, and making it seem like it was more than it was, he could have been, doing what they do.
Yeah. We'll bring in the next one. This is... are you guys familiar with Chris Chan?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Chris Chan is upset that Hasbro might not make My Little Pony anymore. So he made a video to Hasbro.
Oh.
Hey there, everybody. This is Christine Chandler coming to you live from home once again. People of Earth 1218, heed my warning. Spoiler alert, I had seen the future and I had to prevent it. Princess Twilight Sparkle was about to upgrade Applejack to Alicorn status.
Wow.
Like by order of Princess Celestia. Because that Applejack is going to come upon her own magic in a few days. But it backfires, and instead of Applejack becoming Alicorn, period, Twilight's wings get put onto Pinkie Pie, and Twilight's horn gets onto Fluttershy, and it's just no good.
What is going on?
This is brony babble. That's what's going on here. Have you ever heard some of the crazy shit Chris Chan's done? Like how, traditionally Sonic the Hedgehog had tan arms, but they made a new cartoon with Sonic where his arms were blue, and Chris Chan went to a GameStop and like vandalized their display to like make the arms tan again. And when they tried to stop him, he pepper sprayed them.
What?
Yeah. That's
great.
It's that level of tism. There's a 13-part documentary series on Chris Chan that's out there. It is.
I saw that. I started it. I think I'm like 2 or 3 episodes into that, and it was pretty interesting because I haven't seen this guy in years. I didn't even know he's still doing videos. He's looking rough.
Well, now he's trans, but no one's ever really confirmed like any type of transition or anything like that.
No, he's still got a dick. He just grew his hair out.
Yeah, there's like he's a hoarder for one thing. There's always like a bunch of stuff piled up behind him in every video.
Oh yeah, look behind his shoulder right there. It's like garbage bags and trash and just random junk, right? It just piled up all the way to the ceiling almost.
And that's how we end up with that frickin' G5. We must prevent this. This is not going to work out, and I have foreseen this. This is very, very bad. So I had just conferred with Twilight and Princess Celestia as well, and Celestia and I are in agreement, as she had seen the future as well. We must prevent this G5 mistake from ever happening. And yes, G4 will continue. Applejack is the next Alicorn princess, and she must become that without flaw. And so Celestia will take it upon herself to upgrade Applejack as well. But anyway, heed my word, Hasbro, and everybody on the MLP show. Generation 5 must never happen.
Oh, okay. So it's not that they want to cancel it. It's they want to create a new generation of the show. And Chris Chan is adverse to change. So that's one characteristic of autism, is that they're adverse to change. So.
And G4 must have at least 5 more seasons. And Applejack will become an Alicorn princess.
Thank you, Satan.
Heed this. Heed our warning. This is an official command from your CPU Blue Heart in agreement with Princess Celestia.
So Chris is constantly begging on Twitter for money. And, you know, I mean, obviously, Chris is so delusional that probably a normal job might not be available.
Yeah, there's no way this guy works.
Right. And I don't know if he's really capable of maintaining a job. He could barely get through school and shit because of all the social issues he has. So
Is he getting a lot of views though?
Not really. I mean, he doesn't understand how to produce content. He just asks for money on Twitter and tries to sell old shit. Like stupid stuff that only a few people would actually want to buy. So I've even tried to contact Chris Chan and be like, hey, you know, I'll do an interview with you. I'll pay you X amount of money if you want to do an interview. That's how you can make some money, and you don't even really have to do anything but sit there and talk to me. But I get ignored for that kind of shit.
Oh.
Yeah.
So putting in any kind of effort to get some cash, he's not willing. But
exactly.
He'll ask, just send me money. Does he still live with his parents? Is this his parents' house?
Yeah, so Chris's parents were old enough to be his grandparents, basically, like when they had him. Oh. And his dad is passed on. His dad was probably the only level-headed one in the family. So now it's him and his mom. Nuts. The mom was always a hoarder, but when I see videos, because he'll put her out there to make videos to make money, and she seems like she's got dementia or something. She seems like she's not all there, to me anyway.
What a disaster.
Yeah, and I think they had a house fire at one point too because of all the hoarding. Because it's not just Chris Chan, it's his mom is a terrible hoarder too. So yeah, it's a crazy story.
Equestria, all of which in our sister dimension. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Whatever half of that was, I'm in agreement. They should keep Generation 4 My Little Pony going. Sure. Why not?
Yeah. Somebody's gonna be a princess or something. I don't know, but I'm into it. I'm a fan now. Fuck it.
Yeah, you're a brony.
I'm a brony now. Converted.
Generation 5 pony. Getting all bent out of shape about it. Dude.
Let's see.
It's interesting.
Imagine the people that made My Little Pony, and they're like, what the fuck? We got all these fucking people that have turned this into some weird sex thing.
Yeah.
They call themselves bronies. But if we stop making this, people are going to lose their fucking mind. What do we do?
Yeah, I never thought
that money.
I never thought the brony fandom would really go very far because it's such a limited type thing, you know. It's based around one specific entertainment franchise that's owned by a corporation that could be cut off at any point. So it's not like
it's like it kind of like where most of the people that claim they were bronies, they were just doing it for, you know, just to be funny or edgy, just not for real into it.
Yeah, sure. That's how embarrassment works. You deny it later.
Yeah. Plausible deniability. Never a brony.
No, I was just trolling everybody, man.
Just a joke, bro. Just a joke.
I was just kidding.
No homo.
Oh yeah,
Good, right?
just kidding. God.
Yeah, can't. I hate it when people say that after, like, you make like kind of a joke and you're just, oh, just kidding. Yeah, no kidding. Really? I had no idea. Thanks for the heads up.
Here's a story about Rick Scott. I guess the Rick Scott campaign in Florida is filing multiple election lawsuits.
We're following breaking news out of Florida. Florida governor and current U.S. Senate candidate Rick Scott and his campaign are preparing legal action on the Florida recount, which has put this election on hold in terms of the outcome of at least 3 races now. This happening as the process of recounting ballots in all 67 counties is underway for the first time in Florida history. This is a live look inside the Broward County Supervisor of Elections office, where voting machines are sorting ballots, and soon the recounting of those votes will begin. The vote totals for governor and the U.S. Senate races are less than half a percentage point, forcing now this recount. Let's get the very latest now from CNN's Ryan Nobles, who is in Tallahassee for us. So, Ryan, tell us more about these lawsuits filed by Rick Scott.
Why don't we have a better system?
Why is it always Florida, too?
It is.
What is wrong with them?
It's fucking 2018, and we still have, like, the worst system that they could come up with to count votes. You can make a phone call for American Idol and shit and vote for people, but we can't figure out something better than these fucking hand ballots. God damn it.
Yeah, I don't get it. It's been Florida a lot of times, and it was Ohio the one year when it was Bush versus Kerry. It like got stuck in Ohio for a little while. Yeah.
Yep. Well, Florida, it was Bush Gore, right? That was the big one.
It was Bush Gore, and it actually came down to like a judge who won at that election was ultimately decided by a judge. And the weird thing about that was George Bush's brother Jeb was the governor of Florida at the time when that happened.
How convenient.
Yep.
Yeah, Fred, and we even have some more information since the last time that we spoke. All right, let me first tell you about these lawsuits. 3 different lawsuits filed by Rick Scott's campaign. They're directed at the supervisors of elections in Broward and in Palm Beach County. The first is directly against Brenda Snipes, who's the supervisor of elections there. It's accusing her of counting ballots after the noon deadline on Saturday, and saying that she did that illegally against Florida law. So they're trying to prevent those votes from being counted in the overall total. And then there are 2 other lawsuits, one dealing with Broward County, the other with Palm Beach County, that requests that Florida sheriffs and the Florida Department of Law Enforcement impound any ballot and machine involved in the counting while the counting is not happening. So that would mean...
So I'll tell you what, and this has been studied before. Republicans always benefit when there's less votes overall. So that's why there's always like voter suppression going on, where they make it as hard as possible for people to be able to vote.
Well, they were just saying there was like, you can't count votes because they were past the noon deadline or whatever. So people that voted just like these ones don't count.
Right.
We'll just set these over here.
Because he knows the more votes that are counted, the closer it's going to be to him losing. So he wants as many votes to not be counted as possible.
If they take a break for any reason or after the recount is all over. And since we last reported this news, we do now have a statement in, Fred, from Senator Bill Nelson himself. This actually just hit my inbox, so I'm going to read it for you now. It says, quote, "If Rick Scott wanted to make sure every legal ballot is counted, he would not be suing to try and stop voters from having their legal ballot counted as intended. He's doing this for the same reason he's been making false and panicked claims about voter fraud.
Yep,
He's
exactly.
worried that when all the votes are counted, he'll lose this election. We will not allow him to undermine the democratic process, and we will use every legal tool available to protect the rights of Florida voters. So that comes directly from Senator Bill Nelson. We haven't heard that much from Senator Nelson since the election. He's only given one video statement and has been even quiet in terms of paper statements like this one I just read. So this is a strong reaction from the Nelson.
It's less than 1% in Florida.
That's super close.
Yeah, here it is. So Scott technically is winning right now.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Like 10,000 people-ish? 12,000?
Yeah, so.
Wow.
And it says
the recount makes sense when it's that close. I mean, you might as well do it anyway, right?
Right. It should be an automatic thing when it's that close.
Mm-hmm. Just to make sure.
Campaign as we get this new information about these lawsuits. Fred, we don't anticipate that these lawsuits will have any real tangible impact on the recount. But we'll have to see what a judge says when they hear these lawsuits and if that does change the course of this. But at this point right now, a lot of back and forth between these campaigns as this historic recount is really just beginning.
And then, Ryan, is Scott's campaign saying anything more about how it knows? I mean, what is it discovered in this accusation that the, supervisor, Brenda Snipes, counted votes after the noon deadline yesterday, when noon was the deadline for all of the precincts, all of the counties to get those numbers in? How do they know that in their accusation?
Yeah, I mean, they do. Yeah, exactly. In the lawsuit, they do provide some explanation as to why they believe that this took place. But Fred, I do have to tell you, just from my own experience in covering elections and counting ballots, it's not as if, ballots are separated and put in different boxes by the, from where they're counted at any given time. Florida does make some precautions for the difference between a provisional ballot versus a mail-in ballot.
How do you determine, these ones were after 12 o'clock?
Right. They're not time
stamped,
right?
You just vote, throw it in a box. So that could be one way to totally cheat this. All 5,000 of these, yeah, those were later. We'll just put them over here.
Ballot versus a ballot that's actually filed at the actual jurisdiction, but I do think that this may be a difficult thing for a judge to rule on, and that's just from my own personal experience covering vote counts like this. A lot of this, Fred, and I think we do have to caution our viewers. A lot of this is theater from both sides, designed to make one side look like they're being more in the interest of voters versus the other side being more in the interest of voters. So, a judge is going to have a look at this. The judge is the one that will make the final decision, but this is just another page in this new story being written about Florida politics.
All right, and even with these lawsuits filed now, the recounting continues, and the deadline for that is this Thursday, 3 p.m. All right, thank you so much, Ryan Nobles. Appreciate it from Tallahassee.
Yeah. Now the whole voter fraud thing, that hardly ever happens. Real voter fraud where someone's voting in multiple states or people are voting for someone who is dead or whatever. That's so
it's rare.
Yeah. So
you can't get enough voter fraud to really affect an election.
Right.
I don't think.
No. If I had 100 people and they were somehow able to vote in all 50 states, once in each of the 50 states, 100 people, it still wouldn't make that big of a difference.
It wouldn't make a difference at all.
Right.
Not even a dent.
So they do this overkill voter suppression to make it harder in general to vote, to have less votes overall.
Yeah, voting is not easy. It's a pain in the ass. You got to go to the polling place, you got to stand in line, and it's such a cluster. And then when it comes down to this, to where now there's this supposed voter fraud and this and that, and you don't know who wins for weeks or months. It's just, there's got to be a better way. It's where it's counted, it's good, it's permanent, and you don't have to do it again. Online voting, I don't think I'm for that, but there's got to be something that's more convenient.
Online voting would work because I can do banking on my fucking phone and it's secure. There's security measures they could have to make voting work.
I'm sure.
Doing it online or anything like that. There's definitely ways, but I don't think the population will come to an agreement on anything like that. it would be a pretty heated debate on making that a reality, I think.
Yep.
I was looking at let's see. I'm looking up like how often voter fraud actually happens. And I just pulled this up. I mean, so
voter fraud. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, studies show that this is the range of voter fraud.
That's nothing.
Yeah, 0, basically.
That's not even a drop in the bucket. That does not affect an election whatsoever.
Right.
Once you get to that many decimal points, it's nothing.
So let's suppress thousands of legitimate voters to stop this 0.0025% of possible fraudulent voters.
Yeah. Come on.
And the idiots in the chat that are saying voter fraud happens all the time are just going to say this isn't a legitimate source. So
of course,
that's what they do. Columbia University political scientist. Oh, he's just a libtard, right? That's why he came up with this.
Cuck.
So the real question is why do Republicans want less people overall to vote? You can't answer that. It's ridiculous.
It is.
What else?
What are you doing, Dylan?
Sorry, my mic started falling.
You know what's so hilarious? There's a crazy lady whose videos we watch, and the video I have pulled up is her complaining about voter fraud.
Oh, so, perfect.
This is some this is like a schizophrenic lady whose video, like, she makes these really like wild videos. And this is her video. So like all you guys in the chat that are talking about how real voter fraud is, Gail agrees with you.
All right.
Okay, take a look at Angelina Ballerina. Okay, this is a very evil woman. And no, she's not.
This is like a model from a Halloween costume catalog.
Yeah, it's a stock photo. Okay.
She's called Angelina Ballerina because as a Jesuit, she was the daughter of a Jesuit janitor who was a ballerina. The Jesuits have some very interesting creations. They create clones in their cloning labs, though Angelina was not a clone. She was a real person, but she was born as a Jesuit, and Jesuits they have a unique culture.
Jesuits are an order of...
for fuck's sake.
Yeah. Jesuits are an order of Catholic priests, so there are no female Jesuits.
And the Jesuits inside the Jesuit order can be ballerinas or have unique occupations. A lot of them are trained just to be terrorists, and that was Laurie McBride. They're all trained to be evil, and they're all trained to serve Satan. Though, of course, Satan instructs them
ballerina
to keep
terrorists. I knew it was going to go there one day. Here we are.
Wraps and to make them pose as being something other than what they are, because if they're obviously evil, they're not going to be able to get a following. So Angelina Ballerina was under Zach Knight, and she was assisting Zach Knight to sabotage me and my men. We were their number one target. I have been targeted since my birth because of my Catherine the Great and King David jeans. But look at her. Notice the color she's wearing, pink.
Pink alert.
And this is not an accident. Angelina Ballerina actually made...
Yeah, women wear pink. It's pretty common.
Weird.
And these people are fucking they just rant these bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't even know how it's possible just to keep a free for they're just flowing through bullshit.
Oh yeah,
flawlessly.
She's we've actually had this woman on before. She's nice, but she's she's wacky, and it's really interesting listening to her ideas. Let me we'll continue this in a second. I just noticed I got a few Streamlabs that I wanted to comment on. Okay. Let's see. There's Satan gave me £6 and 66 pence. Oh, no. Those are euros. €6. What the fuck is John Wick doing on the show? You have a puppy to avenge, fucker. I don't know. Are they saying one of you is John Wick? I don't know.
I guess.
Maybe.
I gotta go avenge some puppies.
Alan could possibly.
Whoa.
Dragon in the West, $1. Ben, I've heard Democrats compared to Stalin. Remember how Alex Jones talked about Obama's gulag or the FEMA death camps? Anyway, here's some money towards your goal. Thank you, Dragon in the West. Yeah, but I mean, weren't the FEMA camps started when Bush was president during Hurricane Katrina? Yeah, but you're right.
Yeah, I think so.
They get called yeah. Dragon in the West again for $1. You guys think there should be term limits on the U.S. Senate? I voted against my state.
100%.
Yeah, I agree. You voted against Dianne Feinstein. It's not that I don't like her. I think she needs. Oh yeah, they need new people. I agree. Term limits.
Cycle it.
Yeah, because people get comfortable in that seat and they just kind of keep it forever.
Yep. We had John McCain forever.
Yeah, and it took him to die.
Feinstein in California. I don't think you get rid of her unless she dies. She's just going to be there.
That was the only way you get rid of Kane or McCain too.
Yep.
Yeah, like even in the area I grew up in, the congressional district I grew up in, we've had the same congresswoman my entire life. So, and she's not going anywhere. She does not lose. So
a pink space.
And those are the offices that matter the most. Like people trip about the presidency, but I think like the Senate and the House are really the ones people should be, voting in and out, getting fresh blood in there.
Yeah.
New ideas. Shit.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway.
Yes, a pink spaceship, and she wore a pink tutu even when she went to a Donald Trump rally on November the 4th, 2016. She showed up. I believe she was dressed in. She was probably wearing her pink tutu. This was her favorite outfit, and she showed up to rape Donald Trump. At that time, all she had to do.
Well, I didn't expect that.
I don't think she'd have to rape him. Just a guess.
I'd be willing.
Yeah.
Fling her breasts at a guy, and she could get him totally under her brain control, and he would do whatever she wanted. It was horrible.
That happens all the time. I mean, that's not
damn, she bad.
And it's always terrible every time.
So horrible. And she flung her breasts at Donald Trump, and then he took his clothes off, and Hillary, I know this sounds wild, but like I said, the news does not report what's really going on. I
like it how she takes the batshit crazy right-wing conspiracies and literally takes them to the next level. I love it.
Yeah, levels that aren't supposed to be possible.
Right.
What really happened, and it was reported on Gabrielle Chana, Fox News. She flung her breasts at Donald Trump, and he started crawling towards her under her brain control, and then she decided she probably thought she was too good to rape Donald Trump, so she sicked Hillary Clinton on her, who was following her at that time. Hillary's really evil. And Hillary started using a dildo on Donald Trump's rear until he was bleeding. Vladimir Putin was out in the audience.
He's never going to recover from this.
He was furious, and he nuked the Trump rally in Ohio. And we thought they all died, and we didn't find out till January 6, 2017, that Trump was alive. He was held hostage. She was able to use Star Trek-like transporter technology to just whip them all out of that rally just in time up to a pink spaceship, which had the ability to hold millions of people. And he was hostage, and he and his wife, Melanie, along with all those at that Trump rally, were being raped regularly by Angelina Ballerina and her band of evil Jesuits that included Lori McBride. So, but I'm just letting you know, pink is her trademark color. Now take a look at Brenda Snipes. Brenda Snipes.
Yep.
I'm telling you.
I'm telling you
Snipes
what.
is wearing the pink here. She ought to be ashamed of herself, but she's obviously a very evil person.
Dare you?
So Brenda Snipes is being so brazen about stealing the election in Florida, and we can see whose side she's on. Angelina Ballerina is now burning in hell, but Lori McBride has taken her place as the evil justice.
At least there's some kind of justice in this story.
Yeah.
Leader, and Lori McBride
raping the president. You go to hell. I mean, that's.
That should be Trump's story with Stormy Daniels and Karen McDougal and all of them. They raped me.
Yeah, the ballerina came in and raped us all, and that's under her mind control.
Yeah, and the money I paid them off to keep quiet about it was actually ransom money. I was afraid they were going to rape me again.
They have spaceships. They have a pink spaceship that holds millions of people. I can't compete against that.
Right.
I wish Trump would say that. That would be amazing.
I would love it.
Pink. In fact, she drops bombs that cause a pink afterglow in the sky. So Brenda Snipes is wearing the pink. You Democrats, you need to understand that Lori McBride is ruling your party right now. And if you cannot understand that look at this. How can you be a Democrat with a conscience?
So she keeps talking about this woman, Lori McBride. Lori McBride in real life is she's a real person. She's the wife of Brent Spiner, the guy who played Data on Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Oh, okay.
Because Gail here is obsessed with Brent Spiner and actually stalked him for years, even before the internet.
Oh, poor guy.
And like she makes up all these wild stories about how him and her had this like relationship and stuff. And I actually got blocked on Twitter by Brent Spiner because because Gail claims that the Brent we see these days at like Star Trek conventions is just a clone, a Jesuit clone of the real Brent Spiner. So one day Brent Spiner posted a photo that was like a double image of himself where it looked like it was him standing next to himself. So I tweeted it at Gail saying like, hey, Gail, which one of these is the clone? And then next thing you know, I was blocked by Brent Spiner after that. Yep. So.
And remain a Democrat. I'm appealing to you Democrats out there. You need to stage a protest and demand that your leaders separate themselves from Lori McBride. And if they do not, you need to leave the Democratic Party. I'm not saying you have to be Republican, go independent or whatever, but you need to stage a protest, Democrats. What Lori McBride has hijacked the Democratic Party. And
that's a real picture. That's a real picture of Lori McBride, all photoshopped. Oh my God!
Oh wow!
And
what a nightmare this lady is.
She was on Tosh.0 one time. It was hilarious.
I'll have to look that up.
Follow the Democratic Party right now. You are supporting this evil woman, Lori McBride. She's setting. I don't know why she did. Lori McBride loves fires. She's killed so many people with fires. I'm not sure what's going on with that Malibu fire, but she could very well be behind it. But I'm just letting you know this woman is evil. She drops bombs every day that if you've got headaches, diarrhea, and insomnia, it could be because of the bomb she's dropping over your head. You guys everybody needs to be on Seroquel.
Oh, that's why this morning sucked. Fucking Lori McBride found me.
It wasn't all the strong bows.
It has nothing to do with the mass amount of drinking I did last night. It was Lori McBride.
And did you hear what she just said?
Evil bitch.
She just said everyone needs to be on Seroquel. And quick Google search, Seroquel is an antipsychotic medication. It can treat schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, and depression.
When Gail mentions pink, things are seriously fucked up.
Yeah, you're right.
It helps deal with the germs she's putting in these bombs. She's killed millions of people. I'm missing about 4,000 of my Twitter followers. And last time this happened, I heard from Zach Knight that she used a tweeter bird that murdered about 12,000 of my Twitter followers. She maintained
who the fuck knows what that is?
Her relationship with Brent Spiner by threatening to kill me if Brent wouldn't give her girlfriend status. And then she used the semen from Brent that she obtained by drug rape to impregnate herself using artificial insemination to give birth to her son Jackson, which she's now using as a weapon.
Dude?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Dude, this rabbit hole is so deep, you have no idea. We are only scratching the surface with this shit. And there's like years worth of this shit. It's amazing.
Wow. I got some homework to do. This is incredible.
Yeah, Gail Shuler. There's even a video of these guys that go to a convention that Brent Spiner is at, and they ask him about her, and like his reaction to it is just so weird. It's so weird. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, she's been stalking him. I'm sure he's not thrilled about her. And
yeah,
damn.
To tell the world that she's married to Brent Spiner. Brent's been in love with me the whole time. And like I stated in an earlier video, she wouldn't have even been able to maintain her girlfriend status with Brent if she didn't threaten to kill me. She knew Brent loved me, and so she knew the only way she could maintain her relationship was by threatening to kill me if he wouldn't keep her as her public girlfriend. And she used that as a weapon.
Yeah, wow. Listen to this. Listen to this rationalization here. How this is how her fantasy conforms to reality. You know? So yeah,
it's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I got nothing. This is wild, man. It's out of control wild. Like, Lori has to be Brent's public girlfriend because of what? Okay. Yeah.
So Lori,
I'm with it.
Lori blackmailed Brent, who was actually in love with Gail, to keep her as his public girlfriend. Otherwise, she would kill Gail. So that's what happened.
And she's the biggest liar. She's a narcissist, a sociopath, and she's the leader of the Democratic Party, and she's behind Brenda Snipes. Look at the pink she's wearing. Duh. Pink is Lori's color. Brenda is not only being brazen about her wickedness and her lies, she's flaunting it. She's wearing pink. And I didn't doctor this photo. I got it off of Twitter. And somebody just took a picture of her, and look what she's wearing.
I can almost guarantee you I can find a photo of Melania Trump wearing pink.
You can find a picture of anybody almost wearing pink.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a bunch of evil ballerina mind control women out there. We got to be careful.
Exactly. I'm glad she makes these videos to
this is
inform
about
us
as
all.
Pink as you can go, man. She's obviously making a statement. This is what Brenda Snipes is telling you, Democrats. I support Lori McBride and Angelina Ballerina and wear pink in their honor, which means she is as evil as hell. That's all. Because Lori, wow, Angelina.
Yeah, I know, it's disturbing, isn't it? Okay.
Whenever I hear people like this, I kind of think like if I worked in customer service and she walks up to the counter and I got to deal with this shit.
Yeah,
because she has to go and buy stuff and go out into the public and deal with people. Could you just imagine trying to weave your way through just like a simple transaction with her?
Yeah, it would. Yeah, I mean, like we had her on Drunken Peasants a few years ago, and we had a reasonable conversation with her, but we did not challenge her delusions. We kind of just went along with them. And
no, you got to go with it.
Yeah.
As soon as you like push back on her, I'm sure she just would go off the deep end. Oh, yep. Dude, I like this chick. I gotta look into her a little bit more.
Someone in the chat said Gail needs medication. She's on medication, Seroquel, but she doesn't think. Yeah, she doesn't think it's for what it's actually for. She thinks it's for something different. Someone said in the chat that I was drunk. I'm not drunk at all. You obviously haven't been watching. Water. Yeah, I'm drinking water. I mean, if you've been watching long enough, you know what it's like when I'm drunk. So, yeah, God, the chat. I don't know. What is this? Some of these have weird titles. What?
Brother, Sister Mello, what's going on? It's Brother Wisdom. It's a quick message for you guys. Hey, check this out. Halloween. You gotta understand what Halloween is, which is originally All Hallows Eve. It's got nothing to do with goblins and ghosts and all that bullshit these goddamn orcs that I sometimes call crackers or fucking peckerwoods, whatever the fuck I want to call them.
What?
Created. Okay? All Hallows Eve. This is the time, which would have been October 31st.
Yeah.
Which is the time when we would have been doing rituals. This is when the ancestral energy gets the highest. Why you think they try to make it rain around this time of year, especially now?
They try to make it rain?
It's always they.
God damn it.
Yeah. They try to make it rain. How do they do this?
All right.
Who is they?
It's fucking heart machine, man.
George
Everything
Soros,
is
if
back
he
in.
says that I'm gonna.
Yeah, George Soros affecting the weather.
Into orbit, and everything is back in full swing and getting back in full full motion. The planet is getting even harder. Now, this right here, usually All Hallows Eve lasts from October the 31st till January the 31st.
What?
Sure. I'll go with it.
What? It lasts 2 months? Or no, it lasts 3 months?
3 months.
Wow.
All right. It usually lasts that time, October, November, December, January, which is a 3 months period. Now, this All Hallows Eve is literally going to last for an entire year.
Are you sure you're not talking about Christmas? Because I feel like Christmas gets longer every year.
Okay, so you gotta understand what we going on. This is the most powerful energy right now on the planet. All right, so what's happening is the meditation has already been sent out, and the rituals are being done.
By the way, dude, worst angle ever. You want us to see like?
I was just gonna say. The angle he's using reminds me of that meme where it's like what she sees, what he sees. Like we're at what she sees.
It's like I don't need to know. I don't need to know how many hairs he has in his nose. You know, it's
can't see for this ancestral energy to begin to possess us, to put us under a possession. Where we will literally, these orc beings will literally think that we're demon possessed, but we're gonna go seeking their blood, all of them, no matter what branch or sector or whatever. And what's going to be so powerful is this energy is going to be around us so heavily that they're not going to be able to withstand the energy that's on.
I notice a lot of wacky people make their videos in cars for some reason. It happens a lot.
Why is that?
I don't know. Is it because like cars are kind of soundproof and that way you can say crazy shit and hardly anyone will hear you? That's all.
Yeah, like you're doing this in your apartment.
Yeah.
You're in your apartment ranting about the energy and how Hallows Eve's going to last the whole year. Your neighbor's going to, maybe they call the cops. I don't know.
Neither would they be able to destroy the energy around us. Neither would they be able to destroy us. All right? Our eyes and skin are going to turn a totally different color. We're going to have this look on our face, this demeanor on our face that some of them will literally drop dead just from fear, from knowing what we're going to do to them. This is what's going on here. All Hallows Eve is all about ancestral energy returning to the planet. Has nothing to do with dead people and and witches and goblins and goblins or whatever ghosts and goblins and all that.
Goblins?
They put
goblins, ghosts and goblins.
All that
goblins and goblins.
Around there to hide the fact that Halloween, which is All Hallows Eve, is all about us tapping into ancestral energy. That's why they have death and graves and all that other stuff around there, because they don't want us to know what was going on. The energy is flowing.
Who's they? There's another they. They don't want us to know what's going on.
Of course they don't, because they are they.
Yep.
Whoever they are.
They.
You can't define it. It's so easy to just come up with like a bunch of bullshit and just blame it on they.
They. I've heard them called the Illuminati. I've heard them called the elite. Yeah, there's
shadow government
or the Jesuits or the Freemasons, whatever they call it. Yeah, the New World Order.
You know, my biggest problem with this is there's people that watch this and then go, he's fucking right, you know?
Yeah.
He's on to something. I feel it.
The energy, motherfucking energy. Shit's like the energy flowing out the sky like motherfucking rain. Got the energy.
I wasn't expecting a song.
Yeah, we bring it on the fucking pain. Got the energy flowing like motherfucking rocks. Got the energy coming out the motherfucking locks. Got my energy, nigga. What you wanna talk? What, nigga? Energy.
All right. Hashtag bars, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, we bring it, nigga. That's what we're about to do. We about to bring that shit on. We about to bring the shit on. A lot of us are already feeling this ancestral energy all over our bodies. Believe me.
Yeah.
Gave a young brother a crystal today because he was trying.
Oh God. He gave someone a crystal today. How long does this go on for? Holy shit.
Flowing like motherfucking.
What's he got?
Train. You can't stop this shit because
what happened to his chest?
He's got a whole bunch
before all that shit.
No
crystals, man.
Yeah,
crystal. I gave him, and we bring it.
Where's the part?
His ears started ringing. He started. I mean, his body immediately.
I missed the best part. I skipped
started
over
vibrating.
it.
Your crystals are important. Search all the crystals. You got pyrite. You got lodestone. What else you got? You got shit. I got I got my motherfucking shit.
You need crystals, baby.
You know,
yeah, I got some.
Oh, shit.
What you need?
Opal and lodestone and pyrite, and you got ruby and amethyst and quartz, and I mean, all dude, brothers, sisters, this energy is fucking crazy.
Now, we watched a video last year where this lady teaches you how to find out the gender of your crystal. So I wonder if those are all like one gender, or it's a mix.
They're trans crystal. They're trans crystal.
They're trans crystals.
Yeah.
Okay.
They feel like the opposite gender that they were assigned at birth.
Shit.
Yep.
Dang, those are the good crystals, I guess. Hard to find.
Here's the next video is called Jesus Christ Just Keeps on Healing.
Okay, let's talk about Jesus. Let's talk about his healing power. I'm going to give you 2 testimonies of healing, okay, which happened in the last couple of years. And it's my testimony. And one of them I've got medical document here I can show you. Okay. Now,
he's got a testimony of him being healed and even has a medical document to prove it.
It wasn't modern medicine that had anything to do with this. It was all the Lord.
Yep.
The first healing, I went, I had a dream. And in this dream, I dreamt that because of coffee and cigarettes, I'd developed a problem in the roof of my mouth. A couple of weeks later or so, I developed a cyst. So I went straight to the doctors, dentists. They sent me to the hospital. X-rayed me, scanned me, checked me, said to me, "Yeah, you've got a neoplatal cyst." You know.
Thanks for the stream, dabs and laughs all night. Cool. I don't. What kind of? Do you mean the stupid dance move dab, or do you mean like a weed dab? I don't. Yeah,
it's got to be cleaned out. And they said, what we do is we'll cut inside behind your teeth, yeah, like that, in that angle, pull it down and clean it out. I thought, oh my God, no. Okay, I said, look, can we wait to see if it gets better? They said, yeah, understanding that I was, concerned. So I said, yeah, okay, but they didn't hold out any hope. So once I left there, as soon as possible, went down to the church. At the end of the sermon, I went to the front and I asked for prayer. And the guys who were going to pray for me said, what do you want prayer for? I said, let the Lord guide your heart. So they laid hands on me and they prayed for me. And I felt this immediate pressure in the roof of my mouth. Really.
Oh my God, shut up.
Oh, sure.
It was working on me.
Fuck this guy.
I went back for my appointment a few months later. And the surgeon said to me, "How are you?" I said, "I'm fine." I said, "I went to church, I got prayed for, Jesus has healed me." And I heard him say, like that. Okay, and he's back to me, he was looking at the computer. And he turned around, put his gloves on, stuck his finger in my mouth, started poking around. He said, "I can't feel anything." Okay, so they gave me more x-rays and stuff, and basically it shrunk down to absolutely nothing. So they said, "Well, we want to see you again." Anyway, I didn't bother going back again, but what happened was I needed a...
This guy had a cyst on the roof of his mouth? Is that what he said?
That's what he says.
Okay, so that immense pain was probably that cyst just bursting, and a month or two goes by, it just heals up.
Right. It's a cyst, not a tumor or anything.
Yeah, it's a big pocket of just water and pus. It's probably popped. And it just happened to happen while he was at church.
So I had to go back again. So I went back to have this tooth out. And when I got there thinking they're going to pull my tooth out, instead of pulling my tooth out, they immediately rushed me this way and that way to x-rays and all sorts of things to check out this cyst. Anyway, I went in to see the doctor with my x-rays and stuff. I said, "Well, it's gone." Okay, so all glory goes to Jesus Christ. He answered my prayers. He answered the prayers of the people who prayed for me. And I've got this here, I folded it up a bit. You don't need to see all of it. Okay, so it's you can pause that and read it. And basically it says
hey,
that...
Can you pause it right there? I want to read this real quick. So this is like a radiology report. You see, these have been seen in a department for a nasopalatine duct cyst. Yeah, in a sense, central incisor region. The area is asymptomatic. Yeah, dude, it was just a fucking cyst. It probably popped. That's all it was.
Jesus healed him. That's what happened.
Yeah, Alan.
Yeah, I mean, I know how to. This is like what I kind of do. I can decipher this. It's not a big deal. What he had going on was not a big deal at all.
Jesus saved his life.
Thank you, the Lord and Savior.
Yep.
It's gone, and that they've noted it in my medical history. Well, I know what they put in my medical history because I was there when they wrote it down. They wrote, interestingly, it's gone down. Which isn't something that happens, obviously. Okay, so I didn't need an operation, thanks to Jesus Christ. And yeah, I gave up coffee. Don't ask me about the cigarettes. Okay,
Wait.
But anyway, let's move on.
Look at the roof of his house, how much he smokes indoors. It's
just
that tar yellow.
Oh my God, I didn't even notice that until just now.
And
so
to the next healing, I had a problem. I was having this terrible pain, and so I was really worried about it. And I went to the doctors, and they sent me off for a scan. Anyway, the lady who scanned me, after she finished scanning me and stuff, I said to her, "So can you see anything on the scan?" She said to me, "Oh, your doctor would tell you that." I said, "Listen," I said, "it's 2 weeks till I see my doctor. I can do without the stress. Just tell me, come on." So anyway, I plied it out of her, and she said to me, "I can't see nothing." She says, "But the doctor's got to tell you." I said, "All right, thank you very much." So I walked out of there. I was so happy. Okay, I was just thanking Jesus, and I just prayed as I left the place.
A cigarette.
Yeah.
I said, "Lord, please, I pray healing on every..."
I like how he gave up the coffee but kept smoking cigarettes. He kept doing the way less healthy one.
One who's in here today, okay, and I left, and I was so overjoyed. I felt like turning around, just shouting at everyone in the waiting room, "Jesus loves you," but I didn't do it. Maybe I should have done. You know what I mean? I need a bit more boldness.
All right, I'm done with this guy. His name's Gorilla199. He's insane.
He's full of shit.
What is this? This video, the title is, "Are Black Voters the Key to Trump's Re-Election?"
With record low African-American unemployment and a thriving economy, Donald Trump has been stealing African-American voters away from the Dems. But should he have more support
I don't know.
from the African-American community? And what will this all mean for 2020? Joining me now, Director of Urban Engagement at Turning Point USA, Brandon.
Joining me now, a black guy, so obviously he will...
He knows what he's talking about.
And he'll confirm everything I said was true.
Brandon Tatum. Brandon, good evening. Thanks for being with us tonight.
Good evening to you. Thank you for having me on.
All right, good. I want to talk about African Americans. You know, some of the polls that we've seen, and we have one here that's quite old, actually. It shows that President Trump's approval among black voters is at 14%, disapproval 86%. Now, that's Pew, and that's from June, July, August, September.
Okay, so if you're totally discrediting it, why are you showing it?
Why even bother?
Yeah. She's like, oh, look, it's old, so like this is bullshit anyway, right?
October, November, like 5 months ago. Do you have any numbers like that? What is his standing, giving all of the benefits that African Americans have been making under this president?
Well, one of the polls that I like to look at on the Rasmussen poll was one of the most accurate polls in 2016, has the African-American support at 36%, double from last year. So, I mean, people can talk about polls all they want to. You know, I like this poll, I support it, but the polls don't really tell the true number of support. And I've seen firsthand African-American support increase from my social media to people that I talk.
Okay, well, that's anecdotal. Polling is scientific. What you've seen is anecdotal. So,
just polling, you could manipulate that very easily. It just depends on where you do your polling.
Sure.
Talk to every day. Young black leadership, 400 leaders going to the White House a couple of weeks ago. I can see the enthusiasm in the black community, and I think it's just going to grow exponentially as we go forward.
Let's assume that, that the number is somewhere between Pew and the one that you quote. It still should be higher because African Americans have never had the benefits of employment as they have under this president who campaigned under what do you got to lose? And what else does the president need to do to get more African Americans to actually admit that, they believe in this guy and the economy that he's created?
Yeah, there's three major things that the president needs to do. First thing, this is non-negotiable. Prison reform has to get done. We cannot have just verbiage or rhetoric alone. We have to get this done, have to get it handled. African American people need relief from policies that were implemented from Bill Clinton.
I saw people in the chat, the retards in the chat. And by the way, that's not all of you. But I was saying, I was talking about scientific polling. Here it is. I'm going to educate you guys. Scientific polling. Scientific polling is any polling that makes use of statistical information during the process of selecting participants.
Okay.
Yeah. So people were like, polling scientific. What? What?
The 1994 crime bill. I mean, those things need to be reversed. We need to support black leaders.
What was the 1994 crime bill?
I don't know anything about that.
Okay.
Yeah, I can look it up really quick.
The community wanting to be political activists or people who are going to run for office at some point. Someone like John James, who is a tremendous candidate. We have to promote those. And the president, he has to be strong in his rhetoric and support for grassroots organizations like Blexit, organizations like what we had at Turning Point USA.
We don't have much time, but what does Blexit mean?
Okay.
What does it mean?
It's simply, it's the black exit from the...
That's Candace Owens' thing, Blexit, and she tried to get Kanye in on
Party.
it.
It's an opportunity for young African-American people who are...
That crime bill, it looks like it was just basically just a ton of funding for more police officers and a ton of money into prisons.
Oh, awesome. We need more of those.
Sick and tired.
$9.7 billion into prisons. That's crazy.
It's failing them. The Democrats failing them time and time again. We're going to exit. And not only are we going to exit the Democratic Party, but we have to go to something sustainable. And I think the president is on to a good start, but he has to improve.
Brandon Tatum, thanks so much for being with us tonight.
What else we got here? Here's the president of France, and I believe this is from when him and Trump met each other recently.
We had a very good discussion this morning, and he confirmed. And
this might be an interview after it happened.
The press said he was okay. I think.
Does that mean that his tweet was a mistake?
I don't know. I'm not the one to comment his tweet. I always prefer having direct discussion or answering questions that making my diplomacy through tweets. But I think we had a very clear discussion. He is in favor of a better burden sharing within NATO. I agree with that. And I think that in order to have a better burden sharing, all of us do need more Europe. And I think the big mistake would to be very direct with you, what I don't want to see is
someone in the chat said, this guy licks the legs for sure. No, that's an inside joke.
Okay.
Yeah.
Increasing the budget in defense in order to buy Americans and other arms or materials coming from your industry. I think if we increase our budget is to have to build our autonomy and to become...
So Trump was mad that, the president of France wanted to build like European autonomy and strengthen, like the core of their military. Let me see if I can find the tweet.
That's fine with me. Who cares? I mean, let them do whatever the hell they want.
Trump, Macron tweet. Let me see. I want.
Yeah, 'cause wasn't there something with him and like nationalism also?
With Macron, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think he's more to the right than most presidents of France have been. Where's the tweet? All I can find are like the friendly tweets that he's given him because they were like buddies when they first met. I can't find it.
That sucks.
Oh, maybe here. It's so weird that we look for like the president to speak to the country through Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter of all things. Come on. What the fuck are we doing?
I don't know. It's crazy. Damn it, man. It's really hard to believe how hard it is to find a screenshot of this tweet. Yeah, I can't even find it.
He looks like a Weasley guy. I don't
He's
trust
probably
him.
a piece of shit. Who knows?
And they're all pieces of shit. I think.
Just
I don't think
looking at him.
there's been one person that's shown up on the screen today that's probably not a piece of shit.
Waiting for somebody to be legit pop up. Let's see.
I mean, it's part of our credibility vis-à-vis our people and vis-à-vis the rest of the world. And I think it's fair. I think your president is right regarding that. And I think I'm right to precisely promote this idea. What I do believe is that if at this stage, Europe has to become a more consistent, a more sovereign, a more united and democratic power. And today, it's not yet the case. We built something very original during the past 7 decades. But there is a new step forward to be organized. And this is the case today.
Let me ask you about your relationship with Donald Trump. He says, now that he's made up with you after the tweet, he says you have lots in common. And I'm wondering what that is, because he calls himself a nationalist. He draws on these populist forces. And you describe yourself often as one of the great opponents of these forces of nationalism and populism. So what do you think you have in common?
Probably the fact that both of us are outsider of the classical politicians, I would say. And he arrived from the business side. He was not a favorite. And it was an unexpected candidate, and I was pretty much in the same situation.
So that's all you have in common is the way you got elected?
Cool. Cool story, man.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are like samesies all of a sudden.
Twinsies.
Yeah, besties.
Situation in France. Probably because we are very much aligned in the fight against terrorism. And
yeah, because
isn't everybody?
Yeah, no. Plenty of people want terrorism to continue and grow throughout the world.
Of course,
we work very closely together, following this line. We know where we disagree, and we are very straightforward in that. On climate.
Now I want to see Trump give an interview in French.
Yeah.
No, you don't. No.
He can barely give one in English.
on trade, on multilateralism. But we work very well together because we have very regular and direct discussions. But obviously, you're right. I would say I'm a patriot. I do believe in the
patriotism and nationalism are not the same thing.
No, they're not.
Nope.
Not at all.
Nope.
The fact that our people are very important, and having French people is different from German people. I'm not a believer in a sort of globalism without any differentiation. I think it doesn't. It's very inconsistent, and it's extremely. It makes our people very nervous. But I'm not a nationalist, which is very different for me from being a patriot.
Yes.
I do defend my people, I do defend my country, I do believe that we have a strong identity, but I'm a strong believer in cooperation between the different peoples. And I'm a strong believer of the fact that this cooperation is good for everybody. Where the nationalists are sometimes much more based on a unilateral approach and the law of the strongest, which is not my case. That's probably our difference. Do you think it matters to have a personal relationship with Donald Trump? Because of all foreign leaders, he certainly seems to warm toward you. And yet you tried very hard to keep him in the Paris climate.
Him and Kim Jong-un.
Deal.
Yeah, they're best buds.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about like CNN? Anytime they talk about Trump, they never address him as President Trump. It's always just Donald Trump.
Yeah, that's true. I think it kind of goes both ways.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're not recognizing it. Like, not my president. He's just Donald Trump.
Yeah,
if it's anybody else, it's President Obama, President Bush. It's just Donald Trump.
Because they know it fucking gets under his skin.
Yep.
He said no. You tried very hard. I remember talking to you in Washington to get him to stay with the Iran deal. He said no. I know from my reporting that you tried to get him to have a united front on trade with the Europeans, with the Canadians, with the Japanese, and to go to China with that, and he refused. So it doesn't seem that personal dynamics matter that much with Donald Trump. I think it does matter. You're right about the outcome on these different issues.
Okay, well, I'm not. Yeah, I'm done with them. I'm done with them.
Yeah, just
fuck. So, what do you guys have? What do you guys have going on soon on your show? Like, when is your show? When do you do it?
It's every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday.
We usually live stream on either Friday or Saturday nights. Usually Friday nights. You get that through our Patreon, but the episode comes out for free every Tuesday.
I see.
As the demands of the See You Next Tuesday network would require. The Cunt Network. That was a lot of fun doing all that. That was back in August already. Like, that shit flew by.
Yeah, and my memory of that is kind of bad. So, who was it? You guys or the other guys that had Asterius puking on their show?
That was us.
Okay, that's pretty funny.
That was great.
We have drinking contests on the show from time to time, and we have this lovely gif of my co-host just puking all over himself.
I've seen that. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, yeah, because he didn't have a bucket or anything, and he didn't want to get it all over the floor, so he just puked like directly onto himself.
His sweater.
That was after 6 hours of drinking. We play this game called Spin Till You Spew Trivia, where it's a trivia game, and at the end of each round, whoever has the lower score has to spin the wheel, and the wheel has all sorts of liquor on it, but then it also has like wasabi and other weird stuff on it. And basically, you can end up doing multiple shots per turn because there's also a double space. So if you land on double, you have to spin again, and then you drink double of whatever it comes up.
Double of whatever it. Oh, yeah, dude.
There's also a pass too. Like if you lose the round, but then you spin pass, that means the other guy has to spin and drink whatever. So
that sounds like a lot of fun.
It is, and it can be played.
I might have to get in on that.
Yeah, it can be played remotely. Like the trivia game that we use. you play through your phone. Like that's how you answer the questions. So
all right.
Yeah. I mean, we'll probably do it again here pretty soon.
Keep me posted. Maybe I'll hop in on that. That sounds like a blast. We're doing a drinking contest Friday night in our Discord against another podcast.
Oh yeah,
because they said that they could out drink us. I'm like, yeah, prove it. let's get in there.
I drink the least though, so I'm sorry that you guys are gonna have to carry me.
You started this too, man.
Hey man.
Like, oh yeah, let's get into a drinking contest. I hate drinking. Good for you.
I believe in the rest of you.
The rules of this drinking contest are 3 hours, 16 beers. Any beer below 16 is minus 2 points from your team. Any beer over 16 is plus 1 point to your team. At the end of 3 hours, whoever has the most points wins.
See,
and that's 16 beers per person.
My problem wouldn't even be the drunkenness part. It would be like the bloating from drinking 16 beers. Like my stomach would feel like a big bubble. But yeah, so what's the minimum percentage of the beers?
We're just doing Coors Lights.
Okay. Oh my God, that's a terrible hangover.
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
Be rough.
That's what I'm drinking right now too.
Bonus round, wash it down with red wine.
Sure.
We've been practicing though. We got a kegerator in our studio now, and it's full of Coors Light. So we've been training.
Yeah, getting up our tolerance on Coors Lights.
Yeah, it's like water.
This sounds like the greatest game ever.
Ben, stop saying like all the fucking time. You
no, I like saying like.
Girl.
I am a valley girl. I am a valley girl.
And like, so like.
Yeah. It's my crutch word.
That's why I don't listen. I don't listen back to our podcast because I know I say it too much. I don't want to hear it. It bothers me. Damn it! I said it like 4,000 times this episode. Shit.
Dylan's bad at it.
You just said it too. You said.
I know.
I said it like.
God damn it!
Now you're gonna be self-conscious about it the rest of the night. Good for you.
Anxiety is here now. Thanks.
Yeah, I think in a moment here we're probably going to wrap it up, and then I'm going to go solo after this because the people paid for it, and I might even end up having to go another hour after that if this gets met before the next hour starts. So yeah, I'm going to wrap this up. Thanks guys for being on, and you're welcome back anytime soon.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to be back on. And if people want to check out our show, it's nfhcpodcast.com or Twitter, Facebook at NFHC Podcast. You can just search on Google Play or iTunes, not for human consumption. It's easy to find.
Wharfhas2dicks.com.
Yes, we have that.
I saw that somewhere. I saw the Wharf Has Two Dicks thing.
Yeah, we shared it recently. One of our fans bought us that URL.
He has two hearts. I knew that. I didn't know about the two dicks thing. Interesting.
Yeah, Wharf has two dicks.
You
come hang out with us on Tuesdays. It'll be fun.
Yeah. All right, guys. See you again whenever we have you back on, and I hope the drinking contest shit goes well for you.
Thanks for having us.
Later.
Yeah, thanks again for having us, Ben. Have a good night, dude.
You too. Thanks.
Bye.
All right, everybody, I'm back. Welcome to the continuation of the show. What's up? Yeah, let me bring the chat up. I have it set to where I can add the chat when I want to. There we go. Hey, everybody. Everybody in the chat, what's up? What's up? We're getting an extra hour of the show tonight because we met a goal earlier that said I would give you an extra hour. Here I am with the extra hour. And if we meet this goal, then I have to do another hour. And basically, I'm trapped forever until I eventually say, hey, I have to sleep. Otherwise, I'll just keep going all night. Man, Antonovich has me all really paranoid about saying like too much. So now my brain has to process a little slower to stop the like from coming out. Otherwise, the likes will flow. Joshua DeForge in the chat. Haven't seen him in a while. Man, where's Pimpy? Man, we need to get his ass in here. Where is he? I hope he's all right. I miss some Pimpmunk. I miss me some Pimpmunk. Yep, Billy Kringle, it's the degeneracy stream, and you're watching it, so you're a degenerate too. You caught our degenerate STD just by virtue of watching, so you're fucked now. Billy Kringle's a degenerate. Billy Kringle's a degenerate. I got punched in the throat. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does say that. Man, yeah, I wish I knew what was going on with Pimpy, because I knew that he was going on a trip soon, but I wasn't sure when that was starting. Oh, guys, we just got a request from Billy Kringle to bring more furries on the show to talk about sick stuff. I'm glad you brought that up. You know, I think we could use more of that.
Where the fuck is Pimp?
I tried to contact him. He's been inactive for 2 days, so I don't know what's up. I'll figure it out later. Yeah, Billy Kringle, I'm so glad you gave me that idea. I'm glad we have furries like Billy Kringle in the chat that remind me to let more furries on the show. Thank you, known furry Billy Kringle. I appreciate it. Let's do that. More Danny. That Danny shit was crazy. I wish we had some more of that. I wonder if there's... Are there more videos of that, of the Danny character? Where'd Billy Kringle go? Is he too busy putting on his fursuit? Typical day for Billy Kringle. Jerks off to porn, wears a fursuit, goes out and campaigns for his local Democratic politicians. Sodomizes himself with fruit. You're definitely a furry, Billy Kringle. Definitely a furry. A Hispanic furry. I can't be a hippie. Hippies come from the 60s. I wasn't alive then. I don't wear tie-dye. Sorry. I know you're so busy living up to the furry code of conduct that you didn't get to learn what a hippie was, but I'll just help educate you. V was a furry? I don't think so. Not slander if it's true, Billy Kringle. Yeah, that's a good idea. Everyone DM Billy Kringle with all of your furry questions. Everyone call Billy Kringle a furry, too. Oh, you guys can send him gay furry porn. Do that. Billy Kringle, what's your Twitter account so we can send you the kind of pornography that you like? Play the Danny vid in case someone missed it. Meh. Why play it again? Hit the floor. Billy Kringle, well-known furry. Billy Kringle, founder of Anthrocon. Why is the chat delayed? I have no idea. I haven't dropped any frames. I have it set to where the chat... Oh, maybe it's not set that way. Maybe it's set with the normal delay. Where'd Billy Kringle go? We talked about furries too much and he had to go jerk it. Damn it, man. He ran away. We turned him on too much, guys. Take a hit off my breathing tube. You know, honestly, this is sad. This is sad. I don't have any actual flower weed. I don't have... I'm out and I can't afford to get anything new right now. That's not all but part of the reason. Yeah, Billy Kringle, I heard about that. Why did you help Kiro mutilate and desecrate the corpses of puppies? Why did you do that, Billy? You're disgusting. You disgusting degenerate. Heard all about it. Heard you were involved. Heard you orchestrated it. Billy Kringle, why are you even in my chat? You're so disgusting. Why? Okay, dropping kayfabe for a second here, Billy. Why do you even give a shit like what I've heard of? Why are you here? You have no purpose here. You literally have no purpose here. Why does it matter if I've heard about it? Yeah, I think it's fucking disgusting. Oh man, Agent of Chaos. Agent of Chaos. You're not very effective because I can just like time you out like I did just now. And then it's like, fuck. Oh no, the fucking chaos is done. And now we can all go back to more interesting and important things. Billy Kringle's persona is rabid and attacks other furries. It's true. Billy Kringle, if you make a sock account to come back in here, then you are definitely a furry confirmed. If you make a sock account to come in, furry confirmed. Let's see what we got here. I have 2 Vaughn videos, but they're not I have 2 Vaughn videos, but they're not labeled correctly, so I don't want to do the one I did last night. I'm a member of the Sweetie Squad.
Impeach him! Impeach him!
This is the other. That's the one we watched last night, so we'll watch this one instead.
Wow. Wow. I wonder what it's like to have half of Europe trying to hunt you down.
Oh no, this is the one we watched yesterday. My bad. I was a little confused.
Impeach him! Impeach him!
Von Bolton. Von Michael
Didn't have
Bolton.
to even wait until January. Didn't even have to wait till January, man. This shit's already happening. Oh my goodness gracious. I was right again, folks. I was right again. Von Helton, why are you making all these I was right videos? Are you some kind
Yeah, this is like I just said like fuck. This is I was right number 37, I believe.
narcissist or something? No. I make I was right videos because there is not one human being anywhere on the planet that has rose up and made a video in my defense. Not one.
Who wants to?
Now there was some people that did videos years ago that were like, you know, thank yous and stuff like that. But as
I'm going to answer MedPeds. Ben, do they have scooters all over Seattle? I went to Dallas this weekend and they were everywhere. No, the local laws don't yet allow that. We have battery assisted bikes. So they're bikes that you still have to pedal, but they have a battery connected to them that makes pedaling way easier. And when you're going uphill, they kick in and you can go way faster on them. But not the scooters yet. I saw those in LA too when I was there.
As far as actually coming to my defense on the issues, no, not one video. I defy you to find it. You won't. And so therefore I have to make I was right videos. Not because I want to make them, but because nobody else will make them. So I have to make them myself. And if you want to label me a narcissist because of that, then go right on ahead, but it's wrong. You would be wrong by doing that, but you're welcome to do it anyway because I don't really give a shit, you know. I really don't. But yeah, man, crazy shit.
Von Helton is Scott Bakula? In Tacoma, they have the scooters and bikes? I haven't been to Tacoma in a long time, so I didn't even know that. I didn't know they had the scooters down there yet.
They
don't have them in Seattle.
Didn't even have to wait to January for this one. That's great, man. I mean, bam, bam, bam. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into it. All right, folks.
I had to speed them up.
Didn't even have to wait till January when everybody takes their seats. Already, Tom Steyer urges Democrats to impeach Trump in New York Times op-ed. It isn't even January yet, and they're already calling for his impeachment. It's fucking great. So yes, I was right again. What did I say? I said the Democrats got the House, and now all you're going to hear for the next 2 fucking years is impeach Trump and Russia collusion. That's all you're going to hear, man. And they didn't even wait till January. They're already starting it. So once again, yours truly has been proven.
They've been doing this. Right. They've been trying to find a way to impeach him since he got into office, and they're going to keep doing this. And if we have a Democrat for president and the Republicans find a possible reason that they might be able to impeach him, they'll do it too. They'll keep doing it.
Absolutely right.
This is simple.
I'm still trying to figure out what impeachable offense Trump has occurred. They called him a racist, but then photos surfaced where Trump was winning an award from the NAACP. Then they called him sexist, and then documents were produced where Trump had actually enabled women to become the first CEOs in the country.
What? Okay. Let me see. First female CEO in America. Let's see how true this is. Katharine Graham. I don't see anything so far that links Donald Trump to... No! Okay, first of all, America's first female CEO existed before Trump was even born. So I have no idea what he's talking about here.
So there's the race card and the sex card gone. So what else have they got against him? Russia collusion. Oh, you mean like when Hillary and Bill were protesting the Vietnam War in lieu of the American Communist Party? That Russian collusion? But we won't bring that up. Oh, Vaughn, don't bring up that Bill and Hillary protested the Vietnam War in lieu of the American Communist Party. Oh, yes, they did. And I'll also bring up that on a PBS special, Bill and Hillary Clinton lauded Karl Marx and how wonderful Karl Marx was and how Karl Marx was a genius. No, actually, he was a fucking nutter. And there are cartoons about him all over the internet.
There's cartoons about everything. You're a cartoon on the internet. What's your fucking point? You're just saying that people saying bad shit about you on the internet is just obviously valid because then you have to take a look at yourself.
He was lampooned at every opportunity. But then one day, seemingly out of nowhere, here comes Rothschild with a big fat check and hands it to Karl Marx and says, "Hey, Karl, go spread atheism and communism all over the world." And Karl's like, "Yes, sir." And then all of a sudden, Karl Marx goes from being a nutter to a respectable member of the community. And so, yeah, you can Google that too. But anyways, yeah, right again. Sorry about your luck, trolls and haters, but I was right again. Didn't even have to wait till January either. Isn't that great? Isn't that wonderful? Didn't have to wait till January for this one. Yeah, look at it. Look at it. Tom Steyer urges Democrats to impeach Trump in New York Times op-ed. Impeach him for what? A great economy? The lowest job numbers in American history, just about it? More blacks, Latinos, and Asians getting jobs than ever before?
I mean, all of those things can be true, but that doesn't make him immune to impeachment if he committed an impeachable offense, which at this point we don't have enough evidence to prove that that's the case. So I tend to side with he's not going to be impeached. Eventually they'll need to draw the line and be, they need to know when to give up.
More imports and sales of imports, more domestic sales, more money coming into our coffers thanks to tariffs on imports, which is what he's supposed to be doing according to the Founding Fathers. But we won't talk about that because you know how the libs hate the Constitution. But anyway, Trump's doing what he's supposed to be doing, folks. He is. And so now here we go.
He just throws out all this shit. The lip hate the Constitution.
Here we go. Let's impeach Trump. Impeach him for what? You had two impeachable offenses. You had Obama, who wasn't even an American and was illegally usurping the office of the president.
That was proven. No other president has had to show their birth certificate. He showed it, and then people still doubted it.
Well, blood help, all that birth or shit is fake. Now, wait a minute, not so fast. I will remind you that it was Hillary Clinton and CBS News that broke that story. And I will also remind you that CBS was able to back up every damn thing they said about that man. And then his grandma, of all people, comes out and says, yeah, he was born in Kenya. And then all of a sudden she mysteriously ends up dead. Isn't that amazing how that works? Then the ambassador to Kenya gets on a radio show and says, yeah, Obama's born in Kenya. Hey, we'll show you the shrine where he was born. And then he ends up dead. It's like, damn. And then all the documentation on...
So how do you explain the newspaper printing the announcement of his birth in Hawaii? Long before anyone knew he would ever be president, how do you explain the real birth certificates?
Obama that was stored in a building in Indonesia suddenly gets terrorized. The terrorists attacked the building and destroyed the building. But I guess that's just a coincidence too, right?
Yeah, you're right, Meds. Karl Marx was just a writer. He never led any type of country, he wasn't the leader of a communist nation or anything like that.
Got 2 dead people and all kinds of documents destroyed, but it's all a big coincidence, right, guys? Yeah, you believe me, don't you? It's all a big coincidence, right? What a load of shit. What a load of shit. I think Michelle Obama, instead of attacking President Trump, might attack her own husband for killing his own grandma. How about that? How about doing that? Now, you won't hear that in Michelle Obama's book. You won't hear how his grandma outed him or how the ambassador to Kenya outed him. You won't hear that shit in Michelle Obama's book. You won't hear how Obama got a failed foreign student visa to come here. It wasn't even a legit foreign student visa. It was an expired one. But you won't hear that in Michelle Obama's book either. You also won't hear in Michelle Obama's book how I was warning people about Obama before he was even given a job as a senator. But you won't hear about that in Michelle Obama's book either. But yet Michelle Obama will attack Trump on being a birther. So-called birther.
A so-called birther.
All right, whatever. Nobody apparently gives 2 fucks that the office of the president was totally usurped by a non-legal American. Of course, they didn't raise any cane when the Clintons gave all of our military and government secrets to China either. It's called Chinagate, folks. Did you ever know about that? Did you ever look that up? Yeah, Google that shit. Chinagate. What was his name? Robert Huang or some shit like that? I forget his name.
What was his name? Like Robert Ching Chong Ding Dong?
Doesn't really matter. The point is, nobody gave a fuck. The Clintons gave our military and government secrets to China. It's like, oh, okay, go ahead. Didn't impeach him for that. That was high treason, folks. Not only should he have been impeached, he should have been thrown in prison. Actually, according to old American laws, he would have been executed. Him and Hillary both. But no, we can't do that. Oh my God, we're supposed to be a tolerant society. No, we're not actually, but whatever. But yeah, you got one president that wasn't even a president, wasn't even American, wasn't even here legally. He was here on an expired student visa. That is an impeachable offense. Then you have another president that gave all of our secrets to China, government and military. That was an impeachable offense. Yeah, before.
How was he here illegally? His mother was born in the United States. So even if you don't believe that he was still a naturalized citizen by his mother being born in the United States. I bet Von Hell would vote for Ted Cruz for president. No, and Ted Cruz wasn't born in the United States. The only thing that makes Ted Cruz American is that his mother was a naturalized citizen. And we've got him working in the government. Why don't we hear about how Ted Cruz's dad was from Cuba?
We did impeach Clinton. Yeah, over a blowjob in the Oval Office. So what? Oops.
That's not why Clinton was impeached. He was impeached for perjury.
Heirs. No, he should have been impeached for giving our government and military secrets away, and then he should have been tried for treason and either executed or put in prison for the rest of his life. That's what should have happened. Him and Hillary both. I'm still trying to fathom how somebody who protested the government's involvement in Vietnam could make it into the White House in the first damn place. You would think they would have been automatically barred from being able to participate. But nope, they got in there, didn't they? Yes, they did. Anyway, it's yet another I Was Right video by yours truly, because nobody, and I mean nobody, is making any videos out there defending me whatsoever. No one. So I have to do it. I have to defend myself. Nobody else will do it for me. Which is kind of a shame, because I had upwards of 16,000 subscribers at one point. Where the hell were they? I guess they must have all been on holiday, right? Anyways, that's going to do it for me. Y'all have a pleasant day and a better tomorrow. Bye.
There's his scary pagan ending that he does for everybody. I want to thank Antonovich because he's making me really try really hard to not say the L word. And I'm working hard at it. I heard he is the Chinese teacher who got poisoned in the Kill Bill documentary. uh... Yeah, so some people are just so crazy. And you have to sit back and be like, is this person trolling or are they being serious? Or have the lines blurred so much that they don't even know anymore? Is it like an actor that gets so deep into playing their character that they end up in a way becoming their character? Is that why we have such retards in the chat room? Is that why? Yeah, like is my crutch word. I don't know when I picked it up. I'm not a Valley girl. I didn't go to California for the first time until I was already 21. It's not really a way of speaking in Ohio either. Maybe it was when I was living in Albuquerque. Maybe I picked it up then. I'm not trolling anybody. No trolling from here. Except for earlier when I was trolling you. Just giving it back. I know you can't take it. It's hard for you. Just like spelling. A lot of people use like as a crutch word. It's true. And I wonder why. Why is that one of the main crutch words out there? I notice a lot of black people use, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's another one. Yeah, you did say something. You said that I was slandering you. You're so fucking dumb, you can't even remember shit that happened 10 minutes ago. Like just replaced Like, I don't know. Yeah, it's a word to use while your brain is processing what's going on. Good one. Oh my god. That's what I needed. That's what I needed. Your crutch word is pineapple? Are you sure that's not your safe word? Yeah, let's get this hashtag trending. I like this hashtag. I like it. Just got some Skittles indica oil. Gonna try it out for a bit. You do that. It's your safe word. Your safe word is banana. That's part of the reason I'm doing the extra streaming and the extra hour of streaming and the goals and everything. I need money. I need money to buy food, and I need a little bit of that money is to go towards, you know, the devil's lettuce. I need that. Pimp's safe word is Yeah, I guess so. Billy Gray, why do you give a fuck? Like, why is this so important to you? Nothing happened to you in the chat, so you can either keep watching or you cannot watch. It's up to you. It's not up to you to make sure that you know everything that's going on with the chat, right? If you're annoying in the chat, we can time you out. If the shit you're saying is just fucking ridiculous and has nothing to do with what we're talking about, then why do we want you here? Let's move Orrin to something not retarded. I don't know what else I have. It's cold and it should have some more money. Thank you. I appreciate it. One thing I will say, though, is you're giving part of your money to Google, and if you wanted it all to go to me, you might want to use Streamlabs instead. But some people can't use Streamlabs. They have issues with it, so I completely understand. One of these days, I want to play World of Tanks again. You guys remember when Finn took like 2 hours to get into a server for World of Tanks? Augusta Chop! Yeah! So we've got Got about 15 minutes before we reach the 3-hour mark. $20-hour stream. I think I could probably make it about 4 more hours. The money Finn does, I mean, who knows? Who knows how much money he makes? Do I even America? I do. I do America. Have you ever seen the movie Beavis and Butthead Do America?
Good job tonight, Ben. Hope
Thank
you
you.
can keep going here.
Thank you. I like how you put Orn, but it made you say something totally different. I think we might do more than one Discord chat. Let me look at... I'll look at the calendar and see. Maybe we don't. Maybe if I could probably schedule another one though. Can't stream lab where I am. Did earlier. Oh, cool. I appreciate it. I appreciate it all. Euros are good too, you know. That little extra exchange rate. It's windy, damn it. I just raked those leaves. Where I live, there's not a lot of trees with leaves. They're mostly evergreens. So we don't have to worry about raking the leaves, but pine needles and cones and just debris from those trees get everywhere. They get sappy. Autumn here is really weird. It's really rainy. Usually between the low 40s and mid 50s Fahrenheit every day. Canadian money is plastic. Literally. Well, it's probably made out of some kind of polywoven material, but it feels like plastic. In Southwest Washington, we have a lot of firs, but we also have a lot of leaf dropping maples. There's a few maples in the area, but mostly just evergreen trees. Oh, there is another Discord hangout scheduled this month? Cool. The rain is almost every day, though. I have to translate it to Celsius.
Have some green from NW Ohio, Ben.
Oh, thank you, Truman. That's where I'm from, NW Ohio. Cool. Just go to Google and type in convert Fahrenheit to Celsius, and then you'll get it. I'm wondering what I should do if we get this extra hour. We're more than halfway there. I'm wondering if maybe part of me does want to play tanks, but I don't know how many of you guys want to actually play tanks. If you don't, and you can think of other games you want to play together, I wish there's a game. Oh, yeah. Well, there's too much of a delay. We can't play quiz time. The delay would fuck everything up. I'll play tanks. We just gotta... Yeah, I don't know. What's up, Veins of Melody? Thanks for the super chat. Do I have any Mario games? I do. I have emulators. Whip Billy on the boobies? He's not here. RuneScape? No thanks. Not into RuneScape. Can you play Switch without fucking everything up? What does that mean? I do have a Switch. Diablo 2 is my favorite online RPG. Yeah, I liked it a lot. Haven't played it in a long time. Yeah, RuneScape, don't like it. Don't like Minecraft either. Diablo Immortal? That's a mobile-only game. I don't think I can play it. I can play Diablo 3. Yeah, I think RuneScape's still going. Fortnite, I suck at it. So the only entertainment you get out of that is how bad I am at it. Team Fortress 2. I need to get my hands on some of those custom matchups codes. I know there are ways to set up custom matchups, but you need a special code to do it, and then I can create my own room for just people I invite to play.
What about playing It's Just Time with the chat? Smile.
There's too much of a delay. So what'll end up happening is by the time the people watching the stream submit their answers, it'll already be on the next question. That's why. That's the problem. Otherwise, that would have been a good idea. Yeah, I would have to start a whole new stream to do it, so... League of Legends? I've never played it. You call a random person on Skype. How long have I been doing this? Do I have YouTube Premium? No. I do have Heroes of the Storm. I could try playing around to that. I'm not very good at it, but we can try it out. Where's G-Man? Actually, G-Man made a video recently saying that he's taken some time off, so I don't even know if he's available. He does this all the time, though. Why are you calling my job? There we go. Ooh. It's Admiral Murphy. What's up, Admiral Murphy? Thanks for stopping by. I just want to play against the AI for a second here because I'm not that good. Yeah, we'll keep it in the middle. We'll see how I do. Yeah, I'm playing with an easy version character too.
Prepare yourself for battle, heroes.
It's weird. Murphy was here the last time I played too. The last time I played this game.
The battle begins in 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let the battle begin.
Abathor is deep tunneling. Right. Oh no, I fucking died. See?
Choose a talent.
Oh, you're running away, huh?
Choose a talent. Heroes, gather tribute and earn my favor.
Oh no! Oh no, they're destroying the wall. Motherfucker. It's still cooling down. Yeah, it'd be nice if I had teammates that would help me. That'd be pretty cool. Huh, gaining mercenaries would be pretty cool. Oh, someone already took this. That's such garbage.
Gather tribute or face my curse. The choice is simple. Choose a talent.
Fuck. I guess I just can't take them on by myself.
Gather tribute. Earn my favor.
Fuck. Manny T. Mac and Cheese dude. Yes.
Shall we see who gathers enough tribute this time?
I don't even know what the fuck
Talent.
gathering tribute means.
That seems generous. Your enemy has destroyed a fort.
Well, fuck.
The curse falls upon you, heroes.
Oh, God.
You survive it.
Man, I suck at this game. When the enemy team is cured. Yeah. Destroy the wall. I know.
Has been destroyed. Fort lost. My curse subsides.
You might prefer the yeah. I don't even know if I'm going to keep going after this. You know, we haven't met the goal, unfortunately.
Choose a talent. Lost.
I'm too far away.
Tribute or face my curse. The choice is simple. Shall we see who gathers enough tribute this time?
No, kick me while I'm down, huh, bitch?
You're deceased.
Damn it! I almost had them all. Yeah, that would be cool if it did sound like the machine guns from StarCraft. I have StarCraft 2. I never play it because I suck at it. I suck at a lot of these games.
The enemy is attacking your core.
Of course.
Your enemy has destroyed a keep. I grow tired of your petty squabbling. Gather tribute. Earn my favor. Upon you.
Of course. Oh, fuck you, man. Ugh.
Is under attack.
Ah.
I believe that keep was yours. Oh, Your core is under attack. And so the curse ends. Perhaps not. It's value. The enemy is attacking your core. Might I suggest dodging?
It's over. The core health is falling like crazy now. They're all attacking it at the same time.
Core is under attack.
This is FIFA 18. Yeah. That's it. I did really bad. Did I get any kills?
Let's play again sometime. MVP.
I got no kill. Oh, no. That's player 7. Who's the MVP? So I did damage. 35% of team's damage. Yeah, no fucking kills. Yeah, I really do suck ass. Fuck. I don't know what to do. I think I might call it a night if we're not going to reach the goal. 'Cause I'm tired and I do a lot of streaming. Higher or lower? I don't know. I guess I'll try one more just to see how I do. I'll play one more. God, it'll take forever, but why not? I'll play again.
Prepare yourself.
I'll try.
Heroes.
Maybe this will be better. There are these things marked on the... I gotta wait for the gate to open.
The battle begins in 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fight!
Got this one. Yeah, I'm running. Oh, shit. Whoa, how did I get within their oh, fuck.
For that.
That was so bad. Before I knew it, I was behind enemy lines. Okay. And then what do I... There's... Oh, God. No!
You were so close that time.
Keep making wrong turns, for one thing. Yeah! These turrets. I have Tourette's.
Heroes, gather tribute and earn my favor. Choose a talent.
Oh, they both come back. Damn it, you can't, like, run away. That's such bullshit. Alright. I almost had them, too. Alright. Oh, fuck.
I grow tired of your petty squabbling. Gather tribute. Earn my favor.
There we go. Yeah, come down here, guys. Where the fuck did my minions go? They just like run off. Oh, here they are killing these things down here. Damn, what the fuck just happened?
Talent? Ah, that seems generous. Gather tribute or face my curse. The choice is simple.
Killing my... Man, those motherfuckers didn't do shit. Yeah, windowed full screen. Why can't I? That's so weird. I suck so bad. So I think I'm gonna wrap it up. Shit did. I mean, it was a great stream, and doing the extra shit, that was fun. I'll get a penalty for leaving, but I don't care because I'm not gonna play again anytime soon. Watching me game probably isn't that fun because I suck. I used to be a little bit better at this game, not much though. Close this shit. So yeah, I will see you guys probably tomorrow on the DP Underground channel. Check out my Patreon. It helps me out a lot if you want to contribute. We have a private show coming up later this month. There's a calendar too. You can click on that, and it will show you when everything is happening this month. And that's about it. I will see you guys again soon. Thanks for everything.